What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wardcast. Every Monday, we bring you the latest in video game news, talk about survival horror, machinima, and what's going on at the Ward. I'm one of your hosts, Shaun Clark, alongside Jazz Rich.
Hello.
Cody Howard. And Nick Sharpshot.
Howdy.
You caught me off guard with your remothered voice.
Hello.
Hello.
Cody Howard.
What?
It's Cody Howard.
What? Great. So, did you guys hear the earth-shattering news? The inconceivable revelation? Revelation?
I thought you were going to say, did you hear the earth shatter? I'm like, no.
Well, that happened too. But no, the director of the Sonic movie, he thinks fans will like the redesign. What is he going to say?
Fans?
Man, this redesign sure looks like shit. Oh well. Like, what the fuck else is he going to say?
Well, I mean, considering
on
that
Sonic again.
They put out a movie and they're like, what, you guys don't like this garbage? And then it's like, oh yeah, we knew it'd be garbage all along, so we remade it. For you, the fans.
For you. But yeah, as you know, the Sonic movie trailer was released to a bunch of fan outrage. Everybody pissed and moaned. The internet exploded, and the studio opted to do the redesign. But yeah, upon seeing the redesign, the director, Jeff Fowler, said that, quote, I think the fans will be pleased.
Quote, fuck you, we do
Honestly,
what we want, get that money.
I wouldn't want to say anything. Honestly, I would just release it and be like, what do they think? What are they saying? Like, you don't want to fuel that fire any more than it already is. If you go out there and you're like, hey, I think it looks good, when it comes back and it's shit, that's going to make you look even fucking worse. Like, why even say that? Why put that out there?
They entrusted the Sonic franchise to a dude that made one YouTube short film. That I'm just going to say that now, so...
Well, no. They should have done what they do when Halle Berry ever gets asked about Catwoman. Where it's just like, what movie? I don't remember that movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. It's like, just pretend it doesn't fucking exist.
I don't think she does that. I was watching an interview with her like a few months ago, and she's just like, she accepts that shit.
Yeah, she jokes about it.
She's just
stuff,
like,
yeah, that's
I did
the right
it,
way to
so
do
what?
it. Like, fucking, instead of like being defensive or getting angry, like, just fucking take it for what it is. Like, it was bad. There's no defending it. Just fucking laugh about it.
I mean, it's a fucking Sonic movie after all. Like, it's not going to be Lawrence of Arabia or whatever.
It's going to be great. What are you talking about?
Greatest video game movie of all time to redeem all video game movies.
Ugh.
You know,
even Super Mario Brothers. It's
going to be better than that Uwe Boll movie, Alone in the Dark.
Anything is better than any of those movies.
I kind of like them a little bit. Not because they're good movies.
Remember Christian Slater in Alone in the Dark?
It's because they're train wrecks. They're fun to watch the disaster. Train wrecks. Sometimes. Some of them are just, oof. No. Don't waste your time. Jazz!
Hi.
How was your week?
It was pretty good.
Great, Cody. No. Jazz, what happened this week? Tell me all about it.
A boat. Hey, you said it right.
You fucking what, man?
So I finally finished. What's that movie? Life is Strange.
Do you say movie?
You know what? I watched a lot of movies last week.
Walking Simulator much?
It's
I
not.
just played that movie. Or fuck, I fucked up the joke. Never mind. God damn it.
What?
It's fine. Move on.
But yeah, no.
I've
been. Somebody had been trying to get me to play that game for like years, and that when it finally went on sale and I tried it, it was fun. But like, I fell in love with this game. It was really fun and fucked me up with the choices. I don't like making choices.
And then I was like, oh, so you're going to get the sequel or the prequel? And you're like, nah, it's too expensive.
I am, but not at $40. Now it's not even on sale. It's like $50.
Would you recommend it to people who liked Until Dawn and Heavy Rain and the sort?
You know what? It was like, I love Quantic Dream games and like shit that you have to make decisions, but this one was a little different because I don't know, I feel like the choices were more, I don't know how to put it. You know when you're playing I don't know, like Detroit or whatever, and it's like, oh, no matter which way you go, it just changes the story, but not, it's like the whole world. This one was literally like more personal because it's your character. You become attached to all the other characters, and you're like, well, if I do this, this happens, and if I do that, and you're like, fuck. As soon as you make the decision, you change your mind, and you're like, I wish I'd done this instead, but then it's too late.
So choices matter more in this one than.
Well, I just feel like it's more personal. Like it's more of a. There's not like three people's storylines. It's just like it's you. And I don't know.
Right.
You get attached to the characters. Then you get.
How long is it?
It took me like 2 weeks, but it's got 5 episodes, and the 5th episode is a little longer, so it's not like oh okay, I could be done this in like half an hour. It took me 45 minutes to just do one scene because I was like, nope, just keep rewinding, nope. Yeah.
So when you make a choice, can you rewind and redo it?
Yeah. You can go through like an entire conversation, and then at the end of the conversation, like there's the outcome, and you'll be like, oh man, like now it's like this. Maybe I should go back and try it this way. But then you don't. If you continue, then that's your choice. But if you go back, you can see the other option, which is why I'm like, oh, Alex's gonna have fun making a machinima, because if he wants like 2 different scenes, he can just rewind and.
So you can only rewind like up to like the previous save point, basically, or.
No, you can rewind up to like the start of the little scene or the start of like conversation, or there's a lot more to the rewind, but if I tell you, it's kind of spoilery. So, but it's a really cool, like I like that aspect of just like rewind, and but it's not like some other game I've played where literally like you can just rewind every little move you do.
So it's not you're just scave scumming, right? You actually it's a game mechanic to go back on decisions.
Yeah, like you can choose to keep your mechanic or your decision. You can choose to go back, but
you're not like just going load save state.
I feel like that kind of defeats the point of decision.
Yeah, that's what I was
you
thinking.
Just take your decision back.
Well, if it's only one, I imagine that if it's so, is it a part of the game, or is it you're literally going to the menu, going load, and then?
No. It's part of the game. Like say just now, like I was like, oh, the game is really good, and then you guys are like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get it, and then I'm like, wait, I don't want them to get it, so I really want to be like, no, the game's really bad, and then you guys are like, oh, fuck it, then I won't get it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm happy with this choice, and then we continue.
That's cool.
Then I can't go back, but what happens after, like later, just keeps going back to that moment, like, oh, you said you didn't like the game, so we fucking burned all the copies, and now nobody can play it. Well, fuck,
just like a Telltale game to a T.
But it's not a Telltale game.
No, Telltale.
I know, Telltale. I'm just saying, it sounds just like it. It's like the same exact thing, except
that's what it's always compared to.
I mean, it's the same exact thing.
It was really cool. Like, I got really invested in it, and like I lost a lot of sleep over this fucking game, and I couldn't imagine wanting to get like one chapter at a time, because at the end of every chapter, I'm like, well, I gotta keep going now.
I fucking hate releasing games in pieces. Like, what? Who is that for?
Well, I guess because as they make it.
I mean, I understand that, but just wait. Just release it when it's done.
They make more money.
I mean, yeah, what a great reason.
I don't know if they make more money. I mean, if you buy the season outright from episode 1, they make the same amount of money as they would in the end.
Hey, Shaun, I want to sell you a car, but I only sell you like one part at a time because it's easier, and you get to pay full price for every part.
The idea is that they stay relevant for longer, because it's more part of the conversation. Like when you release a game and it's all there, it's out, people consume it, they talk about it, and then they move on. Where like if they're releasing pieces of it over whatever, 6 months to a year, it stays part of the conversation longer. And if it's part of the conversation, it might transition into more sales. So I think that's really the appeal to it. But it's still fucking scummy. Like, let me play the game however the fuck I want to. If I want to play half of it now, I should be able to do that. If I want to play a quarter of it or all of it, like, I bought the game. Let me play my game. Leave me the fuck alone. Keep your hands out of my shit.
Well, it's trying to mimic like TV shows shit, right? Because that whole keep the conversation going, keep it relevant.
Look at where that's going though. Hey, Netflix, boom, here's the whole fucking show or the whole season. Like, people love that shit because let me enjoy my show the way that I fucking want to. Like, God. We're going to start releasing fucking 1 hour long episodes in 4 pieces. Like, fuck off.
Well, that's why, like, if you ever go back and watch like a TV show from like the 70s, a lot of people have noticed, like something like Dragon Ball Z, even. You're not supposed to watch it in a row because it's like 8 hours of recap, rethink, re-explain,
That's why Dragon Ball Z is garbage.
Oh.
Hey, here's one fight scene
motherfucker, you don't watch Dragon Ball. You can't talk shit because you don't watch it.
Because I can't stand it. Like, one fucking battle is like half a fucking season.
10 episodes, yeah.
Yeah, it's why?
The Kakarot episode where Vegeta turns into that thing.
Give me a winner and move on.
Like, because between the battle, there's character development with other characters.
No, it's not. It is recapping what you said on the previous fucking episode, and then re-talking about, like, remember 5 minutes ago when he said that? Ding.
Like,
go watch the Tournament of Power and get back to me.
How many times are we gonna go, oh? You know, in fucking... I don't
remember
get
when
it.
he went, 10 minutes ago?
I guess once again, I'll be the outcast here on this one, because that is false.
I mean, I can't... There's two things. One, it's got a massive fan base. I can't fucking deny that. And two, I haven't seen it. I've seen pieces of it. But the thing for me is, like, I liked Gantz. Nobody here's probably seen that. But it's kind of the same thing where... You know, they took it from the manga and they spread it super duper thin to draw it out. So, like, there's battles that literally take place over like 4 or 5 episodes that could have been resolved in like half of an episode probably. And it drove
I get that,
insane.
But like Nick telling me I'm wrong for saying there's character development in between is kind of like fucked up, because there is, and the character development is what draws it out while the battles are going on. That's why the battles take so long.
Character development. I'm just saying that a lot of
I said there's character development between all of that, and that's why the episodes, you know, the battles take so goddamn long.
But a lot of it is like just filler and just like, hey, remember that thing that happened? Oh yeah, it happened. What do you think of it? I think of it this next episode. You remember when we remembered that thing that happened and we thought this about it? Yeah. Well, what about this? Like, it's
a bunch of lore building.
I don't know.
Say it's filler.
You can be more concise with lore building, I feel. I'm also going off memories when I was like 15, so.
I just think that kind of, again, I haven't seen it, so just kind of my interpretation of it, but it seems like, you know, they're doing that through whatever conversations mid-battle, which makes no sense, or they're doing it through flashbacks, but it's like all that's doing is diluting the battle that's taking place way too long. Like, tell your story, and then do the fight, and then tell another story. You know, of course, you can sprinkle some story and character building and stuff in the fight, but, like, just the way that it's done, it's stretched so fucking insanely thin that it just, I can't stomach it. It's like watching paint dry. Only the paint is going, oh!
What?
I don't know, it's fine. Dragon Ball's not for everybody. I don't know. I just don't get it. It's not my thing. I like anime though, which is the thing. It's like, and that's like one of the biggest, most popular ones, and I'm just like, why? Anyways, Jazz, you may continue.
You may proceed.
Well, that was all on Life is Strange. That was pretty much all I played this week. I didn't play anything new, but I finished a game.
Wasn't Life is Strange new, or was that last week?
I started it last week, but I played 1 episode, and I hadn't noticed that you, even with the full collection, have to download each episode. So I had to wait for that, and then the podcast started, so I was like, okay, well, I'll do that after. But I mean, I rarely finish games, so, I mean, I didn't play a new game, but I finished it, so. Hey.
That's something.
And then I kind of did I want to say classic movie marathon, but it wasn't really. It's like classics to what I have. So like I watched Night of the Living Dead, Cujo.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the 2000.
No.
Oh,
there was
God.
no 2001.
There
Night
was.
of the Living Dead.
Yes,
was there?
There was like, I don't remember the years,
but
there
was only 2. I thought there was the Tom Savini one that was in color and the black and white one.
I want to say there was one in 2013 and somewhere in the 2000s, I think.
The color,
and they're god fucking awful.
There's
my God.
Okay, can I just read this real quick just so we all are on the same page, because this is retarded. Night of the Living Dead 1968, 1990.
Those are the two good
remake.
ones. The
Those
only
two
ones
good
that
ones.
we want to talk about.
Then there's 30th anniversary edition 1999 recompiled version of the 68 film, Night of the Living Dead 3D, which is a 2006 remake.
Garbage.
3D reanimation, which is 2012 prequel to the 3D.
Garbage.
No, this is the 1990. It's the 1990. I just checked it.
Oh, that's the Tom Savini version then.
I fucking love that one. It's the Candyman.
I want to watch that one. So everyone
great.
listening,
what I like about the original and the 90s remake is like it's like the same story, but they're two completely different movies, like two different outcomes with the same characters. Like I thought that was a really cool way to do it, kind of experience the movie in a different way, and it was just done really well. And then flash forward, hey, since fucking Night of the Living Dead is a free property that anybody can make a movie on, let's go make some garbage. That'll be fun, huh? People
look
like
at the
garbage.
Wikipedia for this one. This is a 2012 remake, which came out the same year as the prequel to the 3D remake, and it's also apparently garbage. And then there is Night of the Living Dead Origins 3D, which is a 2015 computer animated retelling of the original.
I didn't know about that one. But yeah, did you guys know that the fucking Night of the Living Dead is actually public domain? If you want to go make a Night of the Living Dead movie, you can.
I know the first one is, and the rest of them after that I don't believe are.
No, it's just the first one.
Yeah,
the one that's actually called Night of the Living Dead.
Wait, so this podcast could be called Night of the Living Dead?
It could.
Night of the Living Dead is one of the very few like major horror films that you can actually post the full thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
And nobody will care because
really
it's public domain.
Yeah. Jess.
Hi.
What else?
What else in the movies?
In your week? In your life?
Just more movies.
What else?
That's it. It was Life is Strange and movie marathon.
Did you drink any Tim Hortons?
What else did you watch?
Oh yeah, I drank it. I watched. I'm looking at my case, my build up here. I watched The Abyss because I had never seen it. I really liked it. That's not important. I watched The Shining. And The Shining. And tonight I'm watching Rosemary's Baby, Mad Max, and Soylent Green. Because it's
oh god.
Because it's people.
Nice.
I also brought Flash Gordon and Terminator, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to those because I've watched them recently. Classics.
Beautiful.
That's all.
Good job, Cody.
Yeah.
How was your week?
It was forgettable.
Wow.
Not
Forget
much
I
has been
asked.
done since last week. But I did get and play Crash Team Racing.
Nice.
Yeah,
good?
it's
I've heard it's better than the original.
I only played like a tiny bit of the original because I didn't play like kart racers like crazy when I was younger, and all these videos are like Crash Team Racing is one of the best fucking kart racers, blah blah blah, and I love kart racing games because I play fuck ton of Mario Kart when I can, and I felt like it was overhyped, but it's good. It's not bad. I just feel like it was overhyped. It's not a bad game. There's like no microtransactions, no fucking loot boxes, none of that. Everything like you start out with like 8 characters unlocked and you can go and unlock the rest of the characters in game. And I'm like, holy shit, a game that has locked characters. Yeah, I was like, I haven't had like to unlock characters in a game manually since the PS2. So I was like, okay, well, that whole fucking first night was just me grinding shit out, like just getting these fucking gold coins so I could buy these fucking characters. And I'm still working on it. There's like 30 something characters, 31 I think, if I'm right. And I only got like maybe 24 of them or something unlocked, and I just got a good bit to go. And it's pretty grindy. Like, it's really grindy to get all these characters, but you know what? It's okay because like the original game had what, 8 characters?
But it's not like grindy, like intentionally to get you to like pay money to unlock them, right? Right. That's not even an option.
No, it's not an option. I'm just like, holy fuck, this game is just grindy in general for no reason.
Which, I mean, that's also kind of shitty if they make it a little bit too grindy, but at least it didn't come from a place of greed, you know? At least that was just kind of their vision was, hey, this is the amount of experience you need or coins or whatever to unlock this thing. That's a different situation.
There's so many, like, characters, and each character has, like, at least 5 skins minimum, and then there's a fuck ton of cars and skins for those cars. It's just grinding money. like it kind of takes the fun out of the focusing on kart racing aspect when you have all this shit to unlock, because then you're focusing on unlocking shit instead of having fun, and that's what I think is killing it for me, because instead of just going on there to race, I'm just going on there to be like, okay, can we finish this up so I can earn money? And their money-making system is god-awful.
That sucks.
It is the worst, because, like, it makes 0 sense. Some people will be like, well, it depends on which character you're playing, on what track, and what place.
But it doesn't make 0 sense because it makes so much money.
Well, it's like, the thing said, on YouTube, people go, well, it depends on what character you're playing as, on what track, because I guess if you're themed, you can get some extra money, which makes no sense. And it depends on what place you come in. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'll fucking get... I'll get a did not finish on one, like, race, because, like, people are too fucking good, and, like, within a minute, they'll fucking somehow beat 3 laps and just not let anybody else finish it, because once the first person crossed the finish line, you got 30 seconds to finish the race. So, like, half the time I come and do not finish, and then I'll earn like 300 coins, and I'm like, damn, that's a lot, that's a nice bit of coins. But then next race, same amount of people, I'll fucking get second place, and I'll earn like fucking 220. And I'm like, this makes 0 sense. I did better, I finished the race, I came in second and everything with the same amount of people, and I got less. And it does that all the fuck. It's random. It's random as fuck, and it makes 0 sense.
Did you look it up to see if maybe there's factors that you can utilize?
Yeah, the whole, like, depending on what place you come in, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's all shit I read on, like, every post. Even, like, they have an official post telling you the rules on the money system. And it still doesn't fucking matter, because it's all random.
Yeah, that's kind of a shitty way to do it.
And if you play like against AIs and just have fucking fun, because they're not gonna bombard you with 80 missiles and like put you in last immediately, then you get like 30 coins, maybe 70 if you're lucky. You have to play online to get the hundreds.
That's unfortunate.
And then you get fucking blown to smithereens by, like, everybody who's been playing since launch.
They're still, even though it's not, like, DLC and microtransactions and stuff, they're still kind of breaking the game by attaching it to the internet, you know? Because it's all driven by multiplayer, which is attached to the internet. And if that ever goes away, like, if you
can still play it if it goes away.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
you don't make as much fucking money, and it takes way longer.
Yeah, you're complaining about grinding the way that it's intended by playing online, and that's not enough. So, I mean, it's almost not even realistic to do it offline. And the thing is, it's only going to have people playing on there for so long. So if you buy the game 2-3 years down the road and you play it, you know, a lot of the player base is going to be gone. And it's going to be harder to find matches.
You know what, too? If the servers ever go down, unlocking shit will be impossible.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, keep it off of the fucking internet. Like, just don't do that. There's always something that, like, fucks it up when you do that. And even just the, like, it affects, like, how quickly just the game boots up, typically. Because even if it's, like, 100% single player experience and it has to connect to verified DLC or something, it typically takes longer just to boot up the fucking game, because it has to like run all these checks. Do you have this DLC? Do you have that? Do you have the update? Blah 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 blah. And it's like, what the fuck? Why am I spending an extra 5 minutes at this loading screen? Well, not 5 minutes, but whatever, a minute or 2
minutes, a bit much.
Still, there are some games that it literally takes like 3 minutes to boot it up, because it's checking licenses and DLC and all these things, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, this is a single player game.
probably
game,
own at
fuck
least
off.
4 or 5 games that do that.
Yeah,
if I could remember them to name them, I would, but I know 100% that feeling.
The Witcher 3 is one of them. And I'm not talking about loading into the actual game, just booting up the game like it fucking loads to verify content. It's like, fuck,
checking
man.
For blah, blah, blah.
It's annoying. What else you got?
I got the Assassin's Creed Odyssey Season Pass last night because I put 70 plus hours in this game, and I figured why fucking not, and I had some spare money for once, and I was like, well, it's only $40, and it comes with, which I didn't notice, it comes with the Assassin's Creed 3 remaster, which is a $40 game in and of itself.
I actually like that game. I don't know why people shit on it so hard.
I didn't play it, so I wouldn't know, but yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey Season Pass, it's not even, like, finished yet. They're still, like, adding stuff onto it, because I guess there's going to be, like, 3 episodes, but, like, or 3 stories, but each story comes in, like, 3 or 4 parts, like, as in DLC, so you get little story chunks that you get cool boss fights like Cerberus and fighting Hades and shit like that, because it's awesome. And it comes with Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, and Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered comes with Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation Remastered, which was a mobile game, or like a phone game that turned into a PS Vita game that they just straight up 4K'd and put on fucking Xbox One and PS4. But it comes with the remaster of Assassin's Creed 3, like, built into it.
That's not
so
bad.
I was like, damn.
At first, when you said 40, I was like, that's kind of steep. But, I mean, that's cool. You're getting essentially 2 games out of it, plus the DLC. Yeah, you get that's not bad.
You get the Season Pass, you get a whole nother game, that game Season Pass, and a whole nother game.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I was like, fuck, that's like 2 Season Passes, 2 games.
But again, that game came out, like a year ago? Like,
oh, it's so good.
Come on, man.
I'm still playing it. It's amazing. Like, people like to shit on it big. It's forceful microtransactions. Like, I really didn't feel it, but I was just like, I got it. I got the XP boosters anyway because I'm just whatever. It didn't cost that much. It's not like it was a $40 fucking pack. I was like, I paid $20 to get a cool skin pack and all the map unlocks and blah blah blah, and it was just a bundle, and I was like, it's only $20, fuck it, why not? So I got that when I got the game because I played it a few hours without having it, and I was like, yeah, it's all right. It's like not as forceful as people think it is. Like, they don't shove it in your face. But yeah, I got that. And I like it. You know, it's fine. It's a great game. 70 plus hours, so it's got my vote.
I like that you went from fine to great. I think it's fine.
Well, I mean, the package deal is fine, is what I meant.
Okay, I got it.
The game is great. The package deal, I was like, well, it's only $20, and you can see everything on the map, like all the collectibles. So I don't have to, like, go searching, because the map is literally one of the biggest maps I've ever seen in a video game in my life.
Yeah, but isn't it part of the enjoyment is exploring the world?
Well, yeah, you still have to do that for, like, it doesn't reveal everything. It only reveals, like, the legendary chests and the collectibles.
That's fucked up. You paid $20 and it doesn't reveal everything. I mean, if you're paying $20, they should give you fucking teleportation. Like,
well, I mean, everything else is
and you
like
jump to it immediately. Like,
well, I mean, everything.
Fucking ridiculous.
I'm saying, like, everything else is explorable. Like, there's 2 modes you can pick it on. There's adventure mode, which is they don't reveal to you all the icons on the map. You have to explore to find them. And there's another mode, which I can't remember what it's called, but they do reveal all the icons. So yes, you can get everything revealed on the map during that. But the collectibles are part of the $20 package deal or whatever. So that's like 1,000 plus collectibles that instead of looking for them on Google, you just fucking just see them on your map and mark them down, and it'll just take you straight to them. But there's so many of them that it's still like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of work.
I just, that's, That's fucked up. You know, they intentionally made it that big and put that many collectibles and shit in there to make that appealing. And that's just
the game is
gross.
So lively though. Yeah, you get the ancient tablet map, a legendary chess map, an orichalcum fragment map, and the first civilization slates map. You get the drachmy boost, which is 50% more money and a 50% permanent XP boost. All that for $20.
All those sound like things that you should get for beating the game, completing side quests. Like, what, $20? What? Why? But I mean, it's obviously appealing, you know, to some people. But I just think that's gross. I don't.
Yeah, at first I was like, I don't know, but it's just like I wanted to go around and just get all those fucking legendary chests, and finding them are a bitch when you don't know where they are because they're so fucking hidden. I was like, the collectibles are fucking everywhere. The chests though, those were ridiculous. But yeah, I got the season pass, so I'm just sitting here like, okay, I get to go like fight for Olympus now and see like the first hidden blade in Assassin's Creed be made, and I haven't done any of that yet, but you know, I'm still grinding out XP because I'm only level 51 with 70 plus hours into this game. And like I said, it's one of the biggest games, and the cities are like actual city size. They're enormous, which is why the map's so big, partially. And they feel lively. There's people doing shit all the time. And I don't know how the fuck they made this game in the amount of time like they did. Because I'm like, between Origins and this, oh my god, this is one of the most lively, active games I've ever played in my life. Like, the world feels alive.
Yeah. I want to get into it at some point. I don't know.
It's the next Witcher.
The only thing that's the thing. Like the thing that's kind of keeping me away from it is that I know it's a time sink and that it's massive, and for me to enjoy that kind of a game, I've got to be able to go in and do all the side stuff and explore the world and stuff. If I don't do that, I'm just kind of robbing myself of the experience, and I don't want to do that. So like I haven't been able to commit that time, so I've just kind of avoided it. But at some point, I do want to get into it.
Treat it more as like a Skyrim-esque simulator of ancient Greece,
which
more than a
for
game.
The same reason.
Because if you treat it like it's a video game instead of just like Greece Spartan Simulator 2018, 2019, then it's just like, I don't know. It's a very explory game. Just fucking run around in it. That's how you should play it, because if you don't play it like that, I feel like it'll get ruined. Like, you'll feel like it's too much. Just drop in, take in the story as you go, try not to like focus on the story, and just fucking explore, because there's so much depth to this game. It's ridiculous. Best Assassin's Creed ever made. Black Flag, it was my favorite, but this one beat it for me.
Is Black Flag the one where you're like on the beach and you like steal the guy's clothes and start?
Yeah, it's that one.
I played that. My cousin gave me all these Assassin's Creed games for the 360, and he's like, "Here, play them." And I've never played any, so I'm like, "All right, I'll try." And I played that one, and I was just getting like super into it, and out of nowhere, the ship just like disappeared, and my character was just like sitting nowhere. Just.
Well, that's what. Like, besides that, yeah. That's one of the reasons why I fucking love Odyssey, is because Assassin's Creed Black Flag is legitimately just pirate simulator. Like, you don't have to follow the storyline and be an assassin and blah, blah, blah. It's a fucking pirate sim. And Odyssey is straight up ancient Greece Spartan sim.
See, that would be more fun.
And the world is like one of the biggest fucking things ever. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and you can move on to next week or whatever, and I'll post a screenshot of this in chat for you all to see how fucking big this game is.
Next week. I just said like next week on next week.
Next week, starring Nick.
Next week.
So the weather's going to suck dick. They're going to release a video of Shinji Mikami getting raped and murdered by all the people with problems with horror.
Only
what a way to break into that.
Why is it his fault?
Well, because, I don't know, because Jill has actual tits instead of half the people who complain about it. Anyway.
Why does... I turned off that sound notification and it still fucking happens. Fuck you, computer.
I didn't hear it.
Well, you're going to hear it when you listen to the podcast.
Nice.
God damn it. Anyways, yes, wait, so what? I'm just so confused about Shinji Mikami. Nick, how was your week?
Oh god. Well, I haven't been on the podcast for like years.
Yeah, you piece of shit. Well, I mean, welcome back.
I can explain why. So fiat currency is the common currency we have in this country, and without
how was your week, Nick?
It was great. I lost my job. That's why I'm back.
Hey, that sounds like a great week. I wish I could lose. Well, I take that back. I can't. I don't want that to happen because I would be fucked.
No, I quit / was laid off / summer's over almost anyway. That's not out of order. But yeah, I'm done with my job, and my worker, manager, person above me, but not in the weird way, was like, hey, do you want maxed out hours? And I was like, sure. So I had maxed out hours for this week, and it was great, and I earned a lot of money, and today's my first day not working until I go back to school.
Go out with a bang.
Right? Got 48 hours this week. So it's fucking great. It's a lot of money. It's gonna be a lot of Funko Pop dolls. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I did that. I played. What did I play?
Got my paycheck. I'm going to the candy store.
I'm going.
How much candy can I give for $600?
A lot of fucking candy.
You would die.
I would. My body would just like be like, you have diabetes now.
How to become how to become diabetic in one day, in 24 hours? Go.
Just melt it in one big pot and just drink all day.
Oh my god, Jesus. Just sticky liquid, pour it down your throat. I regret saying that immediately. Continue.
I played a lot of South Park Stick of Truth, which is fantastic. Amazing.
I don't even want to talk about that goddamn game.
Why not?
Because I had an experience, and
well, let's hear it.
I've already talked about it on the podcast, but you'd know that if you listened. But wow. Yeah. So I just the moral of the story is, or the end result, I guess, is that I bought it online. It didn't work out. I had to send it back, and I haven't replaced it yet. So I'm just kind of like.
Well, that's not the game's
I'm kind of over it. Like, I'll get to it eventually. Like, at the time, I was excited to play it. I've been waiting to play it for a while. I got it on sale. I was excited, and then that tainted that experience, and I just kind of moved on. And I'll get back to it eventually. I have the second one, which I can't play.
You gotta play the first one.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just gonna sit there until I eventually get into the mood to replace that game, which I don't know.
No, it's. Stick of Truth, I think, as a person who like didn't super grow up on South Park, it has convinced me to go and watch every season. So
I grew up on South Park, so you can imagine how I felt seeing all that, playing it.
It's like
there's the thing from that episode, and there's the thing that episode, and it's
everything in the game is a reference or a throwback, or like it's basically, if you haven't played it and you need to be sold on it and you're listening to this, basically if you like South Park, you will love this game. If you like shit that makes fun of everything just without any filter, with no if you want something that has no remorse for how it shits on everything but also does it in a very cute and awesome way while being a good game. Because it's developed by Obsidian.
Do you like swinging balls in your face?
I'll just say this. Jesus is a summon.
That's amazing.
That should be enough for you to just go, what? And go from there. I played a lot of that. I'm like 6 hours in, and I'm really loving it. It's just great and convinced me to watch the show. I also played, I beat Silent Hill 3 a while ago, and I really loved the ending to that game. I got the default ending. And then I've been playing Silent Hill Homecoming, which is not...
Don't you shit on that game.
It's not a bad game.
It's not.
It's about because, okay, Silent Hill games are subtle for the most part. Homecoming is as subtle as a train.
Well, here's the thing. It was made by an American team, and they don't know what Silent Hill is. They know how it
sounds terrible.
They know how it plays. They got that mostly right. And what's there story-wise is good, but they don't get the way that the story's supposed to unfold, and that's its weak point, and that does suck. But overall, still gameplay and story-wise, it's a good game.
It's fun. You'll get an experience out of it. Here's the problem. One, the game came out 2 years after the movie, which I think the movie's fine. I think it's good. Like, as a movie,
First
it's obviously...
movie or second movie?
Ooh.
The 2006 one. There's a second movie?
No, there was not. Let's not talk about that.
No, but it came out 2 years after the movie, and, like, my girlfriend and I watched the movie before I played Homecoming, because we were just like, hey, we want to watch Silent Hill, because my girlfriend really loves Silent Hill now. I got her Origins and Shattered Memories on the PSP. She's like, it's the most amazing fun games ever. And that's on the PSP, so can't wait until she plays 2 and 3. But the Homecoming has this problem that I constantly notice, in that every visual and every, like, theme is ripped straight from the fucking movie. And it's kind of, like, bad. It's a mistake. Because here's something that, if you play Silent Hill, you know this. If you haven't, this is kind of like a mind-blowing thing that should, tickle your, fancy on. You might actually want to go out and play this. The games like 1, 2, 3, and even 4, the way that they put you in scenarios and situations and scare you are very subtle and very build-up based. Like, you walk into a room, you're like, oh, there's nothing going on, but the lighting keeps it kind of ominous and suspicious. You keep fucking around in the room, and then just shit happens, and you're like, holy shit, that was fucking
shit
terrifying.
is in this room that wasn't in this room, and now is in this room. Fuck me.
Yeah, but it's not like, there's not like a pause where the control's taken away from you, and it's like the camera veers at the door, and the door opens, and there's like giant slushy monster, and
just
your character
a subtle
goes,
sound, and then something turns the corner silently and menacingly, and you're like, shit yourself.
Well, not even, like that's an example of the kind of horror that 2, 3, 1, and 4, I don't know if I said it like that, but yeah. And then there's Homecoming, which is like, oh, there's a monster, and it like shows you like crazy, loud garbage stuff happening, and all the scares are either
there's a monster. Look at it. It's
and
right there.
They introduced this enemy that like breathes like fucking smoke, and there's like every enemy that it gets introduced, there's a cutscene where your main character's like, and you're like, what the fuck? You've seen worse shit. And here's the funny part: the monster that I'm talking about is called the Smog. It breathes, it shoots shit at you, which is not
Smaug. Watch the films.
Okay.
Oh, good. Don't.
No, it's not. It's not the one from the films. It's its own thing, because it's not even supposed to be the monster from like in 2, where 2. The other thing too is the monsters are not actually thematic to the character's story. But so the funniest thing, here's an example of how this game is ruined, because it has also a bunch of technical problems. The Smog emits a smoke when you attack it. Smog. Yeah, the
Smoke emits a sound when you attack it.
The Smog emits a desolation.
Of Smaug.
Of smoke.
Smaug is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
For those of you who've never read a book in your life, yes. But actually, it's The Hobbit.
Missed out on that.
Smaug.
No, but
pronounced Smaug.
No, but anyway, when that creature emits the fog, the game goes to like 10 FPS.
Fuck yeah, it does.
And it goes into FPS combat mode, because in the original Silent Hills, you don't actually have free aim. Your character auto aims, like in Resident Evil, onto the enemy with the gun and you just kind of shoot. In this game, you control the aim. Now, imagine this introduces the concept of shooting at an enemy in its weak spot. So the enemy causes the game to tank to 10 FPS, your character gets a gun 5 minutes before you see him, and the game's like, shoot at this specific spot while free aiming to kill the enemy.
Well, that's why they dropped the frame rate down so low, so you can do it in like slow motion.
No, but if you tried aiming with an analog stick at 10 FPS, you feel like a fucking idiot on molasses. And the game is pretty much filled with shit like that.
I love that.
What?
You feel like an idiot on molasses?
What? I don't
know. Because it's slow as fuck, and you're like,
Any other somebody standing on molasses being like, man, I'm an idiot.
That's pretty much the character of the game. And anyway, it's not bad. It's like, it's fun. You'll have fun with it. That's why I haven't but I heard Downpour is worse.
I guess it's perspective. I defend them. Like, they're not perfect games or anything. Like, they have obvious problems, but
you
like
mean the ones beside the original 4.
I mean, 4 on. 4 on.
Okay.
4 was the beginning of the end.
Dude, I love 4.
4, I couldn't finish it. Like, I probably got about 3/4 of the way in, and I'm just like, I can't. I tried.
What killed it for you?
Just, it didn't. Like,
was it the escort?
It was the ghosts and the fucking just the level design, the story, like the whole room thing, like having to keep going back to the room and just like
I love that. It's so thematic.
Like, this wasn't what I was looking for my Silent Hill. And
I love going back to Tommy Wiseau every here and there.
The big thing was just like the ghost just totally fucked it up for me. It's just like when I saw, hey, they're gonna put ghosts in Resident Evil 4, like when that was almost a thing. Like, don't do that. Please keep your ghosts out of my shit. It's not a supernatural fucking ghost story. It's a fucking demon story. No. I don't want that. It's just like it started to lose its identity kind of there, I feel like. Like it started to kind of get rocky and take a different route. Like the story started to become something that I didn't want it to be. And then obviously the American studio took over and really fucked things up, thematically. But like, especially Downpour. Downpour was cool because it was kind of open worldy and you had these side missions, and I didn't mind the character too much, and it stayed true to the gameplay mechanics of the older games, where like survival horror as a whole was not only disappearing or already gone, but the little bit that we had at the time was like fucking Outlast and first person, and just like you didn't have like the old school survival horror experience, and that was still that, and it was still, kind of modern and, better graphics, and it took the old style gameplay and it did kind of evolve it a little bit and made it a little bit more fluid. And again, like just the whole open world horror dynamic is something that I really want to see more of, and I thought it did that in a kind of a cool way without deviating too far from what Silent Hill was, because you've always kind of had like the big open city where you can kind of explore and find items and stuff like that, and they just kind of took that up a notch, and then they threw in some side quests and stuff like that. That was cool. But then there's like the fucking whatever that entity is that chases you that you have to run away. Like, what the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, isn't there parts where you're like running away from this red light that hits?
If I remember,
because I remember that was in 3, but that was in one area just as a specific thing.
Yeah, they turned that into like a whole fucking thing. Like it kept coming back, and that was just bad. I did not like that, and I think they even did away with the whole transitioning from like normal city to demonic city or whatever with the siren. I think it might still kind of be in there a little bit, but it stopped being like a focus. Like Silent Hill's always been known for that. Like that's what Silent Hill is. You hear the alarm and things transition into hell, and like that's a big part of the experience. And in Downpour, that was very kind of lost.
There's a lot of like religious and like cyclical overtones, because the whole point, the game is kind of like, I'm a big fan of the lore. I'm not a big fan of the overall story between 1, 3, and the rest of them, like that whole the Heather and all that. But I am a big fan of the lore behind it, because, and the reason I liked 2 so much more than I liked 3 and 1, and even I liked 2 and 4 so much as on their own, is I felt like Silent Hill provided a perfect vessel for personal stories about redemption or condemnation. Like because people always talk about how these games are very thematic representations of what it's like to have depression, what it's like to have loss and grief, and a very video gamey take on a person's emotional state when they go down into their depths of how they feel and face their inner demons. And I felt like that was kind of the fun aspect that they could have done so much with. And that's why I like the claustrophobic nature of 4, is like the room is like, you live in an apartment, I live in like we all live in rooms, and it's like that kind of connection where it's like all of us feel claustrophobic in our in our houses at some point. We all feel like it's a resemblance in ourselves, and I liked that. And to watch it kind of go away from that to just go from like, ooh, spooky monsters, ooh, fog, and it's like, I don't know. I wish.
Yeah, that's it. You nailed it. Like that was the disconnect right there with the Japanese team and the American team, is all that subtlety and the diving into these themes and emotions and things like that, and perspectives and stuff. And they totally threw all that out the window. And if that's your primary reason for liking Silent Hill, I can understand why you would hate it, because you lost all the things that were important to you about what Silent Hill used to be. But for me, it was both. You know, like, right. I like that aspect. I like how they did the story and the commentary and all that. That was great, but I also liked it as just a horror game. You know, the way that it plays, just that kind of an experience. Because, again, like, that was kind of going away. And it was cool to see that still surviving in a franchise that I liked in the modern day, you know, when it came out. And it was still good. Like, it still played well. It still told a good horror story. It just wasn't, it didn't have that depth.
Yeah.
So no, like, I get why
I'm with you on
losing that, why you would not like it. But it's still, it's the
gameplay. No, I'm with you on the gameplay. The thing I want to say is that the biggest issue that I have with any horror franchise, and the same reason that Resident Evil 7 was, it was a Resident Evil game, but it lost a lot of the charm to me, is that Resident Evil, just to like kind of give a side-by-side comparison on how themes play into how good a game can be, is that Resident Evil kind of had this theme of building up on itself. You start off with a handgun, right? And you start off with basic enemies, right? And you build towards this like epic, you know, encounter with like a bunch of, like, the monsters get crazier, the evil becomes bigger, the threat becomes bigger, but also your arsenal and your capabilities and your skill set grows. And I always loved that. And in 7,
I think that's even kind of
feel that
perspective too, especially if we're talking about like the original Resident Evil, because like what was cool about the original Resident Evil was that it was very much how you decided to play it. You know, like, you could run away from the zombies, you know, you could just use the knife and down them and run away, and, you know, not collect ammo and not build up your arsenal. Like, there were guns that you could miss, and like most of the bosses you could avoid. Like, you could run past the giant spider, you could poison Plant 42, you didn't have to fight it. Like, you could approach it in a more puzzle and running away kind of element. It didn't have to be kind of like an action game where you're fighting zombies and getting stronger, which was great, and I love that about it. But again, like, that's your perspective on like what's Resident Evil to you, you know, and that factors into like how you perceive what Resident Evil 7 was too, because like Resident Evil 7 is actually more true to what the original vision of Resident Evil was to begin with, because it was supposed to be a first-person game, and they scrapped that because they just didn't have the technology to do that effectively and make it scary. So they dropped back and they did the third person, and they did the pre-rendered backgrounds, which I'm thankful for, because I love that, obviously. But like, if we're talking about like a pure Resident Evil experience, like 7's probably one of the best in that regard, and it does have the horror and that kind of approach where you can run and stuff, especially since you have the molded, like, you had like the doors and stuff like that, and you could use those to kind of trick the molded and run away and stuff like that. So in a lot of ways, it's a lot more true to the original Resident Evil formula than anything else. And I don't think a lot of people see it that way, because they're like, oh, it's first person, it's different. They don't really understand where it came from and what it could have been and what that vision was.
I get that. I see your side of it. For me, I guess the biggest deal breaker was it didn't have that slope of build-up. It didn't feel like I was fighting any different enemies or doing anything different than I was doing in the first hour of the game. And that kind of... that's a big part of Resident Evil. Yeah.
It's there, but it's a lot slower. There's not as much of a payoff, if that's what you're looking to get out of it.
Right. Yeah, so, everyone ends with a big rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have something really important to ask you, Shaun.
What's up?
How was your week?
Oh, why thank you. And I just want to welcome everybody to the Our Week cast. We're at like an hour, and I'm just like getting into my week. But I'll try to go through my week quickly. But Jazz, are we playing the game this... Did you have the things ready?
I don't have the usual one, but I do have a shorter one.
Okay, perfect. That fits into our time frame.
That sounded so weird out of context. But
a lot of the news, I think, will go relatively quick anyways, just because like I didn't have time to put notes together for like half the things in the news, so we should be able to blow through that relatively quick. But yeah, let me go into my week real fast. I've come to the conclusion that I need to stop buying shit online, because I fucking got screwed over again. But this time it wasn't Amazon. This time it was GameStop. So I ordered Battlefield 1 on PS4 off their website solely because it was on sale, brand new for $10. It's like, it's never going to be cheaper than that. After all the patches and stuff, like I've actually heard that it's a pretty solid game at this point. So $10, fuck, why not?
Sounds like the Battlefield story. Comes out shit, fixes itself later.
Yeah, that's just the video games these days. But yeah, so not a bad deal. So I bought that. I got it in the mail. I opened the thing up, and it's not sealed. Like, it's an open game.
Ooh.
And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? What's going on with this? So I look at my my online transaction history, and I look at my receipt, and I'm looking to see if maybe I'm just an idiot and I purchased a used game, just thinking it was new or whatever. I must have done something wrong. And nowhere on any of that paperwork or purchase history or anything does it indicate whether it's new or used. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of fucked up. You'd think that's kind of important, especially with a company like fucking GameStop.
And then I opened it and the disc wasn't even there.
No, it comes with a little cardboard cutout that says download only.
And yeah, so I just go to the main website and I search up the game and I look at it, and yeah, it's like, add this to your cart, $10 new. So I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. It was fucking new. So the question is, why the fuck did they send me an open copy? And I know that GameStop guts floor copies to display in stores. So if you buy it from a brick and mortar store and they only have one copy, you may be stuck getting the open floor copy. Which, if they're doing their job correctly, they inform you and they let you know, hey, this is open, whatever. I get that. But I bought this online. There is no floor copy to be had. It came from a fucking warehouse. What the fucking hell are they trying to pull? Especially with the documentation not even outlining the fact that it's new or used. That alone is kind of dodgy. And then they fucking mail me an open copy. What? And it even had a sticker on the case. The sticker was removed, but there's a residue on there. So it's what the fuck did that say? Pre-owned?
Uh-oh.
So yeah, they're gonna get a call, and I'm probably gonna be on the phone for 2 hours bitching and complaining, and that'll be fun. But yeah,
does everything work on it though? Did you try it?
Well, no, I haven't put it. It doesn't matter. Why the fuck did I get an open game?
Well, would it have cost less if you got it used?
I don't know.
But it's a principle.
But it doesn't matter.
No, I get that aspect, but I mean, I'm used to buying used games.
The fact is, GameStop sent me a used game when I bought a new game. What the fuck is that about?
The trouble is, you ordered from GameStop.
That is true as well.
Yeah, they tend to have a track record of fucking almost everything up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I've bitched about
Shaun,
GameStop already on this podcast. It's no secret that I'm not a fan. And part of the conversation that we're going to have is about those other fucking experiences. The fact that the Power Up Rewards program, you earn points to get gift certificates, credit that you can use in the store. And by default, those are auto-redeemed and they expire within a 2-month period, and they don't send you notifications as to when those things are given to you. So it's one day you go and you look at your balance and it's oh, you had a $5 or $10 credit, but guess what? It's expired.
I've never had that happen.
I have a question about pricing at GameStop, because I actually bought 2 or 3 games a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
I bought Assassin's Creed 1 for the PS3 used for $3. It was $2.99. Sorry about my soup kitchen.
I will fucking kill you.
You got a soup kitchen?
This is a professional podcast, you asshole.
Shaun,
put the dishes away.
People are starving. No, but I bought this for $2.99. This is Assassin's Creed 1 for the PS3. How the fuck did they sell me this for $3? That is my question. And I bought Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2. Why is it $2.99? Why is it not $9.99 or $4.99? Why is it?
Because nobody gives a shit about it.
So it's not because it's scratched up or shrinked or when they paint it together.
No, none of that factors into the price at GameStop.
So literally,
which is another problem.
It doesn't.
Yeah. Well, Assassin's Creed 1 wasn't one of the greatest games of all time, and also it's super old
as fuck. Yeah, the more important factor is the fact that it's so old.
I got the Mass Effect PS3 trilogy for $25 though.
But the trilogy isn't that old. Fucking
yeah, but
Assassin's
all those
Creed,
are super popular. The trilogy's newer than the single games by themselves.
Exactly.
I got it with the boxy box.
That's a re-release. Assassin's Creed 1 came out fucking a long time ago.
2007.
And
I looked
even
it up
then,
earlier today.
like that game dropped relatively quickly because it had a poor reception. So like, there's that, and then the fact that it's old, like it's gonna be dirt cheap. So that's
so
the
I got
reason.
lucky.
Am I
kinda.
crazy? Or
Yeah.
did Assassin's Creed 1 come out on original Xbox at some point? I swear it did,
Oh,
but
no,
I
no,
can't
no.
find
Original?
any information
No,
on
it.
it.
Was only on 360.
My
Yeah.
buddy, I don't remember him ever having a 360, but I watched him play it.
No, the Xbox couldn't run Assassin's Creed. No way.
I'm just like, I was watching him play this game, and I was like, this is boring and shitty looking. What is this? He's like, it's Assassin's Creed, but I don't ever remember him in my life having a 360.
Yeah, I remember everyone played it in middle school when I was in middle school, and it was either 360 or PS3. And I remember I played it on a computer because my dad had a good computer, and I thought it was boring as fuck because the game literally starts off by giving you all the equipment, 10 minutes in, takes it all away.
Metroid style.
Yeah, exactly. Metroid.
Metroid
Nothing
does
wrong
that?
with that.
Metroid
You know why they
does that.
do that,
Castlevania
right?
Symphony of the
They
Night
want you to
does
know,
that,
like-
which is free on Games for Gold, by the way. Go pick that up.
They want you to learn the mechanics and like what to expect. It's like, oh, eventually I'm going to be overpowered and have all these weapons.
Yeah, they
and
give
this
you
is how
a
you use
taste
everything.
and strip it away.
And then yeah, when you
so
get it back,
that you want to go for that, you like go for that, and you just like,
That
oh, I want to
sounds
feel like a god.
terrible, because then it's like, look at this. Oh, you gotta work. Like, wouldn't you rather like start off as like a little shit nugget and become a gold bronze like ingot? Like, I don't know.
no, I think it makes sense. It's cool. Like it lets you. It gives
I've
you a
never
sample.
played-
It gives you a taste.
Here's the thing:
I've never
if you
played a
start
game.
off as a shit nugget and you want to go from there,
Fucking
you'll
shit
get
nugget.
bored faster than if you got a taste for it, because the taste gives you a drive
Yeah.
to like a
It gives you
goal
a
to
goal,
work
yeah.
towards that you are now aware of. While if you were starting with nothing, you go, wow, there's not much to this game. It's really boring. Blah blah blah.
Whereas if I start strong and then I get naked, and they're like, yeah, it's like
You
it's
have
like
a
one of
time to
those.
get that back.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like an MMO where it's like pick your class, or like no Diablo 3 where you pick your class and say this badass.
And they show you this awesome gear, and then you hit
Yeah.
start, and you're like,
and then it's just like some
what?
fuck in a loincloth and a
What am I?
cape with a knife, and it's like, this is your character. Like, but I picked like this buff guy with
I picked the strong dude with the big axe, and it's
Like,
like,
no,
here's your
that's
dagger, here's
anything.
your skirt, go fucking kill zombies for an hour.
It's like, but what about that dress that highlights my tits? No, you got that.
You don't get that
one.
till level 80.
80, maybe.
Yeah, if you're lucky and RNG God is by your side, RNGesus.
Okay. We need to push forward for fuck's sake. But yeah, anyway, I didn't really play a whole lot this week. I mainly just been playing Dead by Daylight. I'm on a mission to platinum that motherfucker, and it's a treacherous road. Fucking a lot of those trophies are really brutal, but
Oh, we did it.
yeah, but we got one of the really hard ones out of the way together as a team.
Which
We
one?
played
Which
that
one?
with Jazz and Waffle.
Which hard one?
All 4 survivors have to escape through the hatch. That's a bitch.
Wait, doesn't the hatch not open unless there's only one person left?
Well, the thing, so you have to turn on all 5 generators. Everybody has to survive that long, and then then you have to find the hatch and escape. So yeah, it was hard.
Jeez.
Getting
That sounds like
everybody
a
But-
to
pain
survive.
in the ass.
To
was
give you a
the
taste of some
challenge.
of the fucking really bullshit achievements or trophies, is there's one for escaping out of the hatch in dying status.
Oh
So-
yeah, that's when you just get him to
When-
hit you once and you crawl to it.
Well, yeah, but do you know how slow you crawl? And the fact that the killer probably knows where you are through the perks that he has. So, like, it's not like you can stealthily find your way over there. Maybe you can, depending on what the perks the killer has. But, like, you go so slow, even if you know where the hatch is, like, the odds of you getting down close enough to be able to make it over there before the killer finds you, they're very slim. And now they added the fact that the killer can close the hatch. So if you were like, oh, well, I guess I'll just go to the hatch and have the killer down me and maybe I can crawl over to it real quick. No, the killer's going to fucking kick the hatch down and you're fucked. It's bullshit. Like, I have no idea how I'm going to get it, but
I
will.
quit Dead by Daylight. I quit Friday the 13th because fuck those devs. They fucking pissed me off, and I just boycotted that game for life. And so I was like, well, I need something to play now, so I'll just, because fuck them, I'll buy their rival game. So I bought Dead by Daylight. Yeah, out of spite, because I don't buy like, because here's my thing. I'm gonna try and get through this as quick as possible. My stance on Dead by Daylight is I don't buy rip-off games. Yes, it came out before Friday the 13th, but Friday the 13th introduced the concept first, and then like 2 months later they revealed Dead by Daylight, and they're like, look at our concept, and it was like, well, we can make it real quick because we don't have to do movie license bullshit at first. So they like seen that idea, it got popular from the Kickstarter Friday the 13th, and they hurry up and made a game out of it just to fucking throw it out there. And it got popular first because they just stole the idea. It just fucking made a real quick game with like 2 maps and whatnot. But yeah, they said they were going to put Jason X out, and they fucking didn't. And a lot of people were like, oh, it's because of a lawsuit thing. It's been said multiple times during legal reasons that they could put Jason X out if they wanted to, and he's in the game data, and they just said, we're moving on, we're not going to do that. Fuck you. Until you put Jason X in there, I'm fucking not playing that fucking game ever again. Fuck your shitty company. Fuck you. I'm playing Dead by Daylight. So I bought that. And honestly, I like Dead by Daylight, but my friends fucking ruined it for me because they're the type of people, like, I don't like going online and looking up strategies for games and whatnot because I feel like that's cheating, Like, I want to experience it how it should be experienced it by fucking playing it like a person. But they decided, both of them were just like, mainly one of them, but both of them did it. But one of them pissed me off to the point where I fucking gave up playing it. Because I only play with them, really, is, they decided, I'm going to look up the best fucking build for the killer and blah, blah, blah. And, like, every time I play it with a certain one of them, he's literally inescapable. He knows where you are at all times, and he's, like, super OP. You can't outrun him. His tracker never shuts off, and it's just the fucking build, and it's stupid, and I just fucking quit playing because of that. Because if people are going to look up build strategies for the killers where it's impossible to escape or outmaneuver them, then the game becomes no fun.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to run...
It'll be fun for the killer.
Yeah, you're always going to run into that kind of shit with online gaming. But, I mean, Dead by Daylight does kind of offer a lot more tools to kind of exploit that, which does kind of suck. And there are killers out there that do fucking abuse the system. And just the fact that you can just throw somebody on a hook and stand there and there's nothing you can do, I mean, that's a core gameplay mechanic right there, which is kind of a problem. And people fucking abuse that all the time, and it's really frustrating. But, like, if you can...
The worst
you can ignore that, like, it's a simple game, but it's a lot of fun, especially if you're playing with, like, friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fun, like, if you play it with non-shitbags. Yes, it's a fucking awesome game.
And then there's Freddy.
People weren't shitbags.
Freddy is an automatic shitbag. He always knows where everybody is. You fucking... What the fuck? How did that pass?
How did the barbecue
bullshit. If he finds you, if he decides to come after you, there's nothing you can do. You're fucked. You're gonna die.
I play Freddy, but like, he's I don't know. I never had that problem playing as him, like knowing where everybody is at all times. Sometimes like I kind of like can't find people, but
I don't see how.
A fucking really crazy one that I've seen recently. Ghostface is really fucking quick.
Yeah, a lot of the new characters are actually kind of bullshit. Like that, what's his name? The dude with the fucking mask and the hoodie.
Oh, the original character that they made?
Yeah, whatever the fuck his name is.
That's the one my buddy plays as, where he's made a specific build that's inescapable.
Yeah, and he can like vault. He's like a human-sized character, so he can like vault over the pallets and shit like that. That's bullshit. And then like Ghostface and Michael Myers can both sneak up on you without hearing the heartbeat or anything. So like, what the fuck? What are you supposed to do with that? You know? Like, that makes it fucking 20 times more difficult because you can't fucking... It's hard enough, like, when you hear the heartbeat to go and hide, but, like, when he can literally just walk up fucking behind you and you don't know what the hell's going on, that's super overpowered in a game where you can get hit 1 to 2 times and you're fucking dead. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. And then with Freddy, like, you can't fucking see him. And...
Until
if you get anywhere,
but he can't hurt you either until he pulls you in.
That's the thing, though. Like,
You get a signal when he's pulling you in, so...
And, yeah, but it happens so fast, and, like, you can't see him, so where do you go to fucking get away from him?
It never happens fast when I play as him. You have to, like, build him to make it fast, because, like, it's so fucking slow for me, and I'm just like, oh, just drag him in already.
But, like, you're supposed to run away from a thing that you don't know where it is. Like, it's invisible. Like, it's a guess. Maybe you're running away from it. Maybe you're running towards it. There's no way to know that. And then once you're fucking sucked into that,
as far as
he can see you wherever you go.
Isn't there an indicator that shows you where he's grabbing you from so you can run the opposite direction?
There might be like an add-on or something that allows that, but not when I fucking play against him.
He emits like the little 1-2, but he doesn't actually say 1-2 because they don't have the license for it. But yeah,
it goes da 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 da, and you can run away from that. And if it gets like quieter, you're getting away from him.
Yeah, but it's really inconsistent.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes it'll sound like you're running away from it, but you're actually running towards it.
Here's something else the game has a broken aspect about.
Too, so it's not really.
All the volume cues have no, they are radius based. They are not, so for example, if I'm on a floor above you, in the game, like in real life, terms, I'm 2 meters away from you, right? Because I'm on a floor above you.
Right, yeah.
But the game doesn't treat it like that. It treats it as a straight up radius distance. So you can be on a floor above someone and it'll be like, the music will be super hyped, like, oh, you're right there, but it's like, and I wish they would fix that because because height, the Z coordinate should play a matter in how I
agree.
Really fucking annoying. I noticed that.
I haven't played it in a while though because fucking people and their stupid builds piss me off because it makes the game unplayable.
Yeah. Okay. No more Dead by Daylight. But, I mean, that's pretty much all I've really been playing. I played a little bit of Laser League, and that was kind of it. I didn't get a chance to play a new game this week, so I'll definitely have to do that next week. I watched The Predator and Predators. It's ironic that you guys mentioned that earlier. I was like, you said Predator, and I was like, But
I liked Predators, to be honest. The Predator, I heard terrible things.
It was so they're both painfully average, really, to be honest. I mean, I'd say Predators is better than The Predator.
Yeah, Predators is like at least has like originality to it, like.
Well, I think that was kind of the idea, is that it had been so long that it's like, oh, let's go back and do the old formula, it'll be fun, yay. Which could work, but it wasn't done all that well. And fucking Adrian Brody, like seeing him all like buff and shit was weird enough alone, but the fact that
the Predators was straight up like rip off of the first movie though. That's what kind of like the fact that he tries to do this,
it's supposed to be a remake.
No, it wasn't.
No, it's a sequel.
It's a sequel, yeah.
No,
but the fact that Adrian Brody's trying to do this like fucking Batman voice for some reason, like what? It confused me, and I didn't like it. It made me feel weird. It's like why? Why is he? Why would you talk like that? I don't get it. But anyways, those are weird movies, and I watched those, and that was kind of my week. So guess what?
News?
It's time for some news.
Meow, meow.
Wow. Where's the energy? Where's the enthusiasm?
I had enthusiasm.
No, you were the only one. Everyone else was like, meh.
I meowed.
Everyone else died. Wow, that is not enthusiasm.
I meowed.
There you go. Good job.
So
great.
Fuck you.
Jill is here. Jill.
What?
Jill.
Ow! Really
we're derailing. Gears of War 5.
Living Predators.
Sucks dick. Nobody wants to play it.
Let's talk about Gears of War 5. It will no longer tolerate smoking.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Did I say Gears of War 5? I mean Gears 5. Let's not miscommunicate the title here.
There's no more war.
There's no more war. Gears 5
There's no more smoking?
will no longer tolerate smoking.
What the fuck?
Don't do it, everybody.
What do you mean no tolerate? It's a fucking game about war, and you're censoring the smoking part? It's like having a porno where you censor the lingerie.
It's a game about Gears.
Oh, Jesus. God damn it.
Yeah, from what I heard, it's not that they're actively going to go out of their way and be like, smoking is bad coming from Marcus Phoenix. They're just not going to
I would rather they do anymore. That. No, I'd rather they have Marcus Phoenix like, hey, don't smoke. Or else.
I won at the end of it when you beat it, and you're like, you have to get the Ultimate Edition to get it. Like, it's a secret ending only in the Ultimate Edition for the highest fucking thing.
Cigar.
You like, at the very end of it, like, they do the ending, it wraps up, people are happy or not happy, you know, they're grieving over maybe a few character deaths, and it, like, the camera starts like kind of drifting to the side, and you're like, what's going on with this? And then it, like, pans over to Marcus Phoenix, and he like breaks character, like nobody hears him talking, but he's talking to the camera, and he goes, all right, kids, what we've learned today is smoking is bad. Like, they don't mention smoking or anything, and it's just like, it has nothing to do with the game, but it's like, it's a PSA for the end of the thing. It's like, today's lesson is smoking, and it's like, you didn't mention any of that through the entire story. We killed the fucking resurrection of the locust god, blah 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 and whatnot. Nothing about smoking, and he's just like, yeah, that's the lesson of the day. Like, what the fuck? I want him to do a PSA where he stares dead into the camera and only the audience can hear him.
I'd much rather have a video of him and Anya getting it on as a secret ending. Not gonna lie.
Well, they should be smoking when they do it.
Both of them.
They do it and then light one up afterwards. I'm like, that was
no, they're smoking while they do it. The bed sheets catch on fire and shit. It'll be great.
Don't smoke,
That's
kids.
Don't smoke because this could happen to you.
That's how they become the what do you call it?
Premarital smoking.
What? Don't smoke until you're stressed out about marriage, everybody.
But yeah, like, as far as I'm aware, they're just not going to show anybody smoking through the entire game.
Yeah, so the anti-tobacco organization Truth has reached out to Turner, which is partnered with esports organization E-League, who has broadcasting rights to the Gears 5 esports tournament, about the concern of depictions of smoking in the game. Rod Ferguson, the studio head at the Coalition, who are developing Gears 5, made the following statement, quote, I've seen firsthand the devastating impact of smoking. It's always
get the fuck out of here.
It's always been important for me to not use smoking as a narrative device, which is why we made the conscious choice to avoid highlighting or glorifying smoking in Gears 5 and throughout the Gears Award moving forward.
When did cigarettes ever drive a story?
No, you're gonna glorify
Metal Gear Solid.
Gore and war. You're gonna glorify gore and war because you've seen cigarettes cause bad things, but you haven't seen violence, death, guns.
So look.
Well, that's why they took war out of the title. No.
Your game is about the devastation of fucking war, and you're gonna sit here and jerk your dick off about how you don't want to put smoking in it because you have morality?
So violently forcing a chainsaw gun through your enemies, cutting their fucking limbs off.
That's plot critical.
Spraying blood fucking everywhere and gutting people, swearing and telling a fucking gruesome story about the end of humanity. That's all fine. Just don't fucking smoke while you do it, for God's sake. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Next thing you know, they're gonna make a game where like our cars and tanks in the game are not all.
Throw a little bit of rape in there just for kicks.
Can I go back to my PSA real quick and just say at the end of Marcus's PSA in the secret Ultimate Edition ending, he just whips out his chainsaw gun and just fucks somebody with it.
Going somewhere else.
Thank God.
That'd be great. Or he's literally slowly cutting someone in half with a chainsaw as he's looking at the camera telling you the PSA.
Don't cut
You can barely hear him over the noise of the chainsaw, the screaming, and the gore.
You hear, in the arms of... And like he's telling you the PSA, but like as the camera's zooming in on him and as he's talking to you, like because off frame he's cutting somebody up, you just see blood just squirting and splatting all over his fucking face.
You have to turn the volume up because like you can barely hear him over the chainsaw, the screaming, the music, the arms of the angel is like played overly loud, and you can just faintly hear the PSA in the background
about not smoking.
About not smoking.
And your kids are like, wait, what's the message here? I can't hear. Oh, don't smoke. Got it. As I'm watching this like guy get fucking vivisected by a chainsaw.
Can we, I don't know, like, you don't want to upload anything that it's only the podcast until you finish days, but can we please upload, like, a 1-minute PSA Gears video to the War channel that's doing that? Like, we add all that in there. Like, yeah, it'll get
Who's gonna
demonetized because of
animate
Arms of
that?
an Angel, but I'm sure people would fucking love that.
Who's gonna animate that though?
I would.
With what?
Well,
Paint?
can you get footage?
No, I mean, all we need is gameplay from Gears, and then you just
Oh
fucking...
yeah, because that exists, right? Where he cuts a guy open up and talks about cigar.
No, I'm saying we do the voiceover while over footage of him cutting his enemies up and just fucking blare Arms of an Angel and loud-ass chainsaw and just have one of us who like, Marcus Phoenix here to talk to you about cigarettes. Right, Anya? And Anya goes,
Why did you make
yeah,
him
Marcus,
Jewish?
and they have the same voice. Because they both smoke.
I like it. Let's do it.
Shayla can do a really good voice of Dr. Girlfriend from Venture Bros.
Oh, Shayla
God,
B. Marcus.
Yes. She could do a really good impression of that.
You know what? We'll brainstorm after the podcast. I like it.
Yes, please.
It's beautiful. But yeah, so that's a fucking thing. More
So
more
nobody
censorship,
pre-ordered
everybody.
Gears 5.
Enjoy your life. But
I didn't
don't
pre-order
have freedom.
Gears 5, but since I have Xbox Games Pass Ultimate and until like 2020 or around mid-2020,
There you go.
they will give me the Ultimate
Don't play
edition
it.
of Gears for free, so...
Boycott it like a real gamer.
Yeah.
I have no reason to boycott it, because like,
you're
honestly,
for
it's
censorship,
such a
get
fucking
out.
minuscule problem that I'm just like, that's retarded that it's even a headline.
Hey, speaking of real
But no
gamers,
smoking! Oh no!
Sony claims the PlayStation 5 will be a niche product aimed at the hardcore player.
Wait,
The
what?
real
The
gamer.
fuck does that mean?
Wait,
Those are
so
two
it's not
separate things
supposed
as
to make
niche and
money?
hardcore.
So it's not supposed to make money. If it's a stream box, it's going to be more
Well, no,
mainstream than the fucking
casual
McDonald's commercial.
players are the mainstream. Hardcore would be your niche.
But it's a stream box, right?
Well,
Like
yes
Netflix.
and no. It's both. But in a recent company strategy briefing, Sony chief executive Kenichiro Yoshida described the PlayStation 5, or whatever the final name becomes, as a niche product for hardcore players. The company wants to focus on ultra high definition graphics and the AAA experience. Sony
That's
intends
literally what no one who's a hardcore gamer gives a fuck about, is the graphics and the AAA experience. Are you fucking serious?
Sony intends to focus on strengthening relationships with large publishers and focus on delivering in-house AAA products. As a result, Sony will not be targeting indie or smaller developers.
What?
You want to call
That-
it niche?
Is fucking crazy.
Listen here,
But
okay?
if you listen
One
to
of
the
the
last
reasons
podcast,
why I have
agree.
a PS4 is because they have indie games that Xbox doesn't have. Where the fuck are all the indie games gonna go besides Steam?
So this doesn't mean you can't buy indie games on PS5. It means that's not going to be a priority for Sony. There's still going to be an infrastructure and a marketplace for like indie games and small developers to put their games on the platform, but Sony's not going to be involved in it. Like they're not going to be like typically in their
Pushing it.
yeah, they're not going to be pushing
on,
it.
like, front
They're
page.
like on most of their like press events and stuff, they bring indie in that as part of the conversation, and they highlight publishers and new games that are coming out, and there's more of a focus on the indie market like within the store on the platform. So those are no longer going to be a thing. So they're going to be there. It's just not going to be a prominent thing.
Did we talk about G2A last week?
What?
Wasn't I on last week?
I don't think.
G2A is really fucking sketchy.
I don't want to switch topics real quick, but I want to know if we talked about it or not, because I can't remember. Because if we didn't, I'll bring that up this week.
Refresh my memory, and I'll cut you off if need be.
G2A fucking bought advertising for Descenders game, and the dude said he'd rather have you pirate his game than buy it from G2A.
That sounds familiar. So I think so. 'Cause
Must
that's not
really hate
something that I looked
G2A.
up. Just blow through it real quick, just real fast.
Fuck. Now I gotta yeah, dude. Think his name is Mike Rose or something like that. His game Descenders, it's a freestyle biking procedurally generated game. It's fucking awesome.
Okay,
I played it.
We talked about it. I remember the fucking biking game. Because I was like, what? Okay, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Wasn't sure if we talked about that.
This is interesting because, like I said before, I feel like
there's an update to it. G2A did fucking very illegal shit, and they tried having a bunch of news sites post articles about them that were.
We're already running behind. We'll have to pass on that. Whatnot. But yeah. So I mean, indies, I think, like we talked about, is just kind of getting oversaturated as it is. So I think it's kind of a wise decision for Sony to kind of take the foot off the gas when it comes to the indie space and focus on,
I feel like
the
it's only oversaturated on Steam. Like anywhere else, there's like they have better quality control, and like the majority of those indie games are like good in quality.
Well, the thing is, like a lot of the games that come out on Steam now come out on console as well. There's a lot more garbage, I think, that stays on Steam, which is good. I hope it stays that way. But like when it's released, there's not much of a barrier to bring it over to a console. So that's going to continue to happen. So it's going to continue to grow and grow. And Sony doesn't need to do anything to facilitate that, nor do I think they should. They are a big company and they have the ability and the funds to make bigger, better things, with good graphics, with like high profile Hollywood style games. That's their market because they can do that. Indies can't do that. They don't have the ability to make that kind of a game. So we should leave that to the people that can, and they can just do their thing. They can do their AAA titles. And then the indie space is big and thriving and growing. So, that can do its other thing, on their own. They can do that kind of a market. And that's fine. And that's how it should be, because, we're not seeing a whole lot of AAA games these days anymore, which is unfortunate. I think it's picked up.
Those fuckers are so big, they take forever to make, and that's why they come out shitty,
but that's the thing.
They rush them.
That's why this is good, because now they can focus 100% on making more of those and making them better, and that's great. I think that's a good thing. And
that's why I don't mind so many indie games. I'm like, it passes the time. But like, if big developers looked at indie games and seen it like that, it would help if they're just like, well, there's all these coming out that we could sell on our platform and get a percentage of. And when a big game comes around, every fucking 4 years, because that's what it feels like it's gonna fucking need to take to make them now. It's like, then we'll fucking hardcore.
I think that space is gonna or that time frame is gonna shrink down for PlayStation 5 because of this, because they're shifting their focus to make those games, so it should happen faster and also better, which is good.
Well, it depends on how big the game is too, because like I said, the games keep getting bigger and bigger, it's taking more time.
Yeah, but either way, better and or more good things, because we have platforms for indie, like you said, Steam, Epic, fucking the Switch. If you want a console indie experience, they're all over there. Go Switch.
Oh yeah,
and that's probably the Switch is the best platform in my opinion for indie, because you have the mobile version and you have a home console version.
Not anymore. They're making a light version of it where it's just handheld, which kind of defeats the point of it.
It's not a Switch anymore.
Switch.
How are you going to call it a Switch? Yeah, exactly. The name is a lie now. It fucking doesn't make any sense, Nintendo. What are you fucking doing?
Honestly,
like releasing a Wii that only plays.
I'd probably get the Switch Lite.
Yeah, and furthermore, like they even said that the new model, the portable version of the Switch, is not going to replace the DS. So what the fuck is the point? Why have this? You have a portable handheld game, and then you have a portable / home console hybrid. Why do we need another fucking handheld that fits in the middle? It makes no sense.
The only reason I can think is for people on the go that do business but in game and are never fucking home once, and instead of spending all the extra money for the base station, just get the handheld part. It's the only thing I could think of, but that's such a small market.
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Like, who's a traveler, a businessman that's never fucking home, like, in games all the fucking time, like.
And even if that's the case, like, buy a fucking 3DS for almost half the price.
Yeah,
or
but it's
just
like
fucking pay the extra money to have a more powerful, more versatile fucking system that lives up to its fucking goddamn name.
Yeah, just take the one thing with you everywhere.
It's like having our new console is going to be the PlayStation Home console, and then we're going to make a portable only version of it. What?
A PSP?
Well, no.
Have a family to feed.
But what I'm saying is, though, they're saying it's the home console version. Like, That's like, it's in the title, is this is the video game home console system is the name of the console, and then you make a portable only version of that.
A portable home console.
Did I phrase that weird?
No, I get it. I'm just like emphasizing what you're trying to get at. You're just like, they make it, it's called home console, and then they make a version that's called home console, but you don't play it at home.
That's portable only. Yeah, like why? Yeah. What? No, that doesn't make sense, and that's exactly what they're doing, and I just don't understand it. But yeah, the Switch is a great place to play indies, and that's going to help indies become, not become more successful, because they're already dominating and they're doing really well. And there's a lot of stuff that's great on that platform. So I mean, I think between Steam and the Switch, there's plenty of love for the indies, and I think Microsoft and Sony should focus on AAA.
Valley multiplayer update.
So I think this is a good thing, but it's still a very weird and unexpected thing for them to be like, hey, the next PlayStation system is going to be a niche console for the hardcore market. Like, what a weird ass fucking thing.
Phrasing so odd.
It's seriously weird, but I don't know. I like it. I'm curious to see what that ends up producing. I'm hoping to see some pretty good shit in the future, or at least just more AAA titles would be nice. Either way. So the Dark Pictures Anthology is planning an 8-game run and adds co-op to the mix. So the Dark Pictures Anthology is the upcoming horror game franchise from the Until Dawn developer Supermassive Games.
Let's hope it's okay. I'm so sorry. Like, the more I think about Until Dawn, the more it fucking irritates me. Because, like, it's a I don't want to say it's a good game its first run, and I know I said that before, but like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, Until Dawn was such a big fucking rip-off novelty that the whole game is practically illusion of choice, and it runs like shit, like 15 frames a second, almost all times.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does, dude. I've beaten that game fucking 5 times. It runs out like 15 frames a second at almost all fucking times.
I had a consistent.
Yeah, when I played it, it was fine. It ran really well. Looked great.
It runs like shit.
Either way, I mean, things like that.
I'm hoping this game,
things like that, are going to get better
because it looks good.
No, like
doesn't suffer from the illusion of choice and shitty performance.
I don't think it's an illusion of choice. I mean,
depending on what you did, people would fucking die. I mean.
But the ending was always the same. The story actually did not change beat for beat besides people.
Yeah, and that's something that we talked about too. Like, they almost have to have an end game story, otherwise they're gonna have to fucking spend ridiculously unrealistic amounts of time and money to make all these different branching fucking paths and stuff like that, which would be great for that to happen, but it's not really viable. Maybe at some point.
They said it would happen.
Sure.
And they're just like, our game has 1,000 different endings thanks to our butterfly effect and our engine and da-da-da-da-da. And like, the game
does, because people die
one ending that has different characters. The credits doesn't count as a fucking ending. I don't care what anyone says. Your character's saying, like, different dialogue at the end is not a different fucking ending. The ending is the same. It just depends who's there and who's not there. That's not a different ending. It's the same ending.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they're building towards that. Like, you've got to get there, right? So, like, this...
Yeah, but don't advertise it as we're already there.
I understand that, but they're a business and they got to sell it, and technically they're not wrong. It's just not what you want out of it. And I think the phrasing should be better.
But they are wrong, because they said one thing and did another.
No, because, like, you're going to have all the endings because people are dying and they're not there, and it changes the overall story in that way, even if it doesn't change the end result of the main story. You're still getting people killed, and they're not there anymore, so that impacts the story. Right? So, like, if they make a sequel, that character can't be there anymore. Like, it does impact the story, and it impacts the ending in that way.
It does. So it's true, I think that it does do.
It's worded poorly. Is the thing.
It gives you the opportunity. Again, I'm not trying to say like, games like. It's obviously a very prototypical version of what I would call a good role-playing experience in that sense, where it's an interactive story. Because ideally, we would have a situation where anything happens, every decision affects it subtly, and I'm
sure that's what they want to do, but we're not there yet. And to get there, we're going to have these games, and I think that's great. And the quality is there, right? Until Dawn was great.
as a proof of concept, it's
maybe it had some performance issues.
Yeah, that's like a one-time.
They probably just didn't have the technology at the time to make it run great. But guess what? Until Dawn was a learning experience. Now these next games are probably going to run better. They're going to look better, and they're probably going to take the decision making and the impact on the story up a notch.
Well, they're making a co-op. They are that's the other thing too. Like they realize they're not just going to keep doing the same thing they've been doing since Telltale games. They're trying to implement new features. I think again, I understand interactive movie games are not for everyone, and I completely understand. I have friends who hate them, but I will say that as a person who enjoys that kind of because it's fun for in groups with friends, it's fun with your it is a type of game that I feel like has a market to it, and I do think that they're taking the right decision.
Telltale and Life is Strange is proof of that.
I just think there you go. You have a game that
pour out all of them.
Well, Life is Strange. I imagine that. There's an example of a game they're taking it. And again, if they have plans to make 8 games like this, I do think that they are going to build on top of each other with features and stuff.
I'm not saying the new game's going to be bad. My point was that I'm just worried. I hope it's not Until Dawn again. And I'm excited for it, and I want it.
The choices, you mean, or the endings?
I just don't want them to go, here's this. It's going to make this great big impact, and the impact is not great in the slightest.
Well, they're not even going on record saying, "Hey, look at all the endings you can get." They're not even pushing.
Yeah, I know they're not, and that's why I'm excited for it.
You don't sound very excited.
You're like it's going to be garbage.
Your choices matter on every single little detail, because I literally read it on the Xbox page earlier. It's in the features. It's your choices matter. Every single thing you take dedicates the difference in the story. And I'm like, that better be fucking true, because no matter what, Beth and Hannah still die. No matter what, Beth becomes a winner.
Okay, but that's that is one thing in the beginning.
You have to have anchors, is the thing. At least for now. Again, we've discussed, eventually it'd be nice to have that branching thing where you have 42,000 fucking different endings or whatever, even 20, 10, whatever it looks like.
I'm saying is in the advertisement, they're still saying it's every choice you make matters.
Well, Cody,
and they're still doing it.
Every game you play gives you the choice, because you can play new game or you can go back to main menu, and that is a choice.
That's what they're working on. That's where they're trying to get to, and that's compare it to Metal Gear Solid. Right? Doesn't matter what the fuck you do. That's got a story that starts at A and it ends at B.
Like that, but they better not be lying again, is all I'm saying.
But their game, compared to the market and all the other games in the universe, your choices do have an impact. People can die that don't normally die. There's tons of things that you can do that impact the story. So it's true. It's just not impacting the game or the story to the point where you're having 100 different endings, because they just can't do that right now.
Yeah. I get it, it's marketing. I'm just saying, like I said, they said they could, but I'm just the overall arcing story does not change, besides who's there and who's not there. And I get that. That's a change, but I'm but that's an illusion. It's still an illusion of choice. A character might go away, but it still doesn't change anything in the end. And if they added 4 different endings,
though, it's a slasher flick, a monster movie kind of thing. Where's the story gonna go? It has a pretty straightforward premise.
It's supposed to be a homage to 80s typical slasher films too.
I'm saying it was advertised very shittily, and it makes me worry that they're doing the same advertising for this one.
Well, I told you they're not.
If they would have added 4 different endings, I would have been fine. Maybe not 1,000, but if 4 different endings were a thing where it does change the actual ending of the main anchor point stories, depending on key characters, that would have mattered, and I would have been okay with that. It might not have been 1,000, but I would have been it actually did change the story. But until they do that, it's still an illusion of choice and does not actually affect anything in the story.
You can say the exact same thing about Telltale, though. The Walking Dead Telltale game is more linear than fucking what is it called? Sorry, it's way more linear than Until Dawn.
Yeah, I still think they said your choices matter, but they didn't say you're gonna get 1,000 different endings.
Despite having the ultimate ending being the same, people dying is a pretty fucking big deal, and it's more than most games do.
I don't see it as a big deal if it doesn't change the story.
Okay, if you're gonna say that The Walking Dead is better than Until Dawn because in The Walking Dead they didn't tell you that there's gonna be a different ending, and then that you're not arguing for the product, you're arguing for the advertising. In which case, like, I don't.
I said that already. The Walking Dead doesn't give me the illusion of choice 100%, because you can still end up at different locations during the end.
Can you?
I'm pretty sure, like, everybody, like, hold on.
I remember reading a walkthrough of that game, which was like, this choice doesn't actually affect anything. This choice only affects the dialogue that comes up here. I was like, wow.
Okay, we're going to move on. I haven't even been able to get through this story yet. So the series, the Dark Pictures Anthology, will launch with The Man of Medan, releasing in August, and will be followed by 7 more titles on a 2-game per year release schedule. All the games in the franchise will be independent stories under one branding. So, for example, one may take place in like the 1950s and revolve around vampires, and the next one will take place in like 2045 in space, both having completely different casts of characters. So it's essentially like the video game equivalent of the Twilight Zone, which is pretty cool.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it sounds great. Every game will remain in the horror genre and feature Until Dawn gameplay mechanics such as dialogue choices, QuickTime events, and remain narrative driven. So that's what they're going off of. They're saying like it'll play this similar to Until Dawn, and it will be narrative driven, and your choices are going to be there, but they're not saying, hey, your choices are going to produce X amount of endings or whatever. So they're marketing it.
As long as they don't bring up endings, like they'll be fine.
Which they have not, so it's fine. So they're marketing it right, and there's probably going to be impacts to the story, so you'll still get that experience, but they're not going to piss off people like you because they didn't phrase it that way, so that's good. But yeah, it's definitely cool. They're supposed to be pretty short, though. They are like budget titles, essentially. I think they're releasing for $30 or $40, but it'll be kind of cool to see what they do with that, and I don't think they've really done anything like this in the gaming space before, where they're doing like a Twilight Zone thing and having like fucking 8 games is a lot. That's going to give you a lot of variety if you like that kind of Until Dawn, choose your own adventure kind of thing. So
wait, sorry, each of them is going to be $30-$40?
Yes. Each game is completely... I mean, I say short comparatively. Like, you're not going to get like a 60-hour experience. Like, this is probably going to be
8 hours.
Yeah, 8 to 10-ish.
Okay, that's not short. That's I mean, Until Dawn was about,
especially for the price point. That's perfectly fine.
I'd say 8 is a game average minimum.
Well, it depends on the price point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying games in general.
Yeah,
8 hours is about your minimum average for games, like, in general.
Well, Silent Hill 3 is like 6 hours, so.
And I mean, it's all that's super duper subjective too, because some people go through games way quicker than others. Some people like to explore and take things in. Other people blow through it. So I mean,
right?
It's hard to quantify that. But
HowLongToBeat.com, they do statistics.
Yeah.
Well, I think the issue is it's a story-based game, so they would have to make it like consistent, because there's not that much to explore in story-based games. Usually, it's very much like how much movie of the game it is. But hey.
Yeah. My only concern really is, like you mentioned before, that they're adding co-op to this as well, which, I mean, co-op's all well and good and everything, but I really think co-op's a bad thing to do for a horror game, just because it does break that tension. If you have somebody there with you, it's like it always damages the experience, because
especially somebody who's not a coward, because then they're gonna crack jokes the whole time and make all of your fear go
even
away.
If they're not, like, you're still gonna be talking to each other, and you're gonna be distracted, and you guys are gonna be, there's somebody there with you. Just that alone lightens the mood.
If I play it, I'm not doing party chat. I'm definitely doing in-game chat where you hopefully can't hear the other person until you're by them.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what co-op meant. They just literally said we're looking to make it co-op, and everyone's like, "Yay, play with your friends." And I was like, interesting. I wonder how the fuck that's gonna look.
Yeah, I kind of breezed through that.
I'm trying to remember what game it was. It was an RPG that came out recently. Instead of dwelling on thinking about it, I'm trying to. I hope the dialogue is like that game is, even though I can't think of the game right now, and I'll bring it up later afterwards. There's a game, it's an RPG where you can play it co-op, and I hope they take the dialogue mechanics of that as a co-op feature, where you can literally run into an NPC, have a conversation with them, and on the other player's screen, they can actually do a conversation too, and it goes into your conversation, and you guys can actually like disagree with each other on shit.
I think you're thinking of what's it called? God damn it!
That sounds like the one we played.
So like Hidden Agenda
on Steam.
No. Let me find it. Divinity Original Sin. That's
yes, that's it. Divinity. Yeah. Divinity Original Sin 2 does that amazingly. Where it's like literally you could just be like, well, I'm gonna do this, and the other player goes, I disagree, and like you could butt heads about it in game dialogue.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about that from what I read, but that would be really cool. That'd be interesting.
They should do that.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's done well. I'd prefer that they didn't do that at all. It is what it is.
I think they should make it that every time you want a scare to happen, you have to swipe your credit card and pay $1.99 for the surprise.
I'm sure that's a feature that's coming. You get a
Would you like to be scared?
That will determine your scare. Maybe it'll be flowers, or it could be a monster.
Instead of a care package, you get a scare package.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh my god.
And then just a couple things we'll kind of blow through just real quick. Final Fantasy VII is not going to be on Xbox One.
After years of advertisements saying it's going to be on X. What the fuck?
You guys don't deserve it.
Was it advertised on Xbox One?
It was fucking advertised for years on so many pages.
I wonder if that's just like the marketing team fucked up.
They should make it PlayStation.
Because yeah, they said that it was never intended to be on Xbox. It's only going to be PlayStation 4 and Steam. So
why is Steam?
You know, it's eventually going to make its way over, though. If it sells well enough, they'll fucking port it. But yeah, everybody like you, I guess, because of the advertisements, was under the impression that it was going to be multi-platform.
And they just re-released 7 on fucking Xbox.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. That's
they
so fucked up.
Did like a few months ago.
Wow. Maybe that's what they were talking about.
It wasn't the remake, it was the remaster.
We have a partnership with Microsoft, and we're going to release like 5 Final Fantasy games on there. We're so excited to be partners with them. And here's Final Fantasy 7, blah, 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 this one, and this one. And then you're like, what about the remake? They go, nope.
Maybe fuck sales weren't there.
Suck my dick.
Maybe, because, like, you know, we've talked about that too, as far as, like, the U.S. market with Japanese-style games, especially RPGs. Like, there's not really a whole lot of sales to be made on that. So maybe the Final Fantasy games that they released here didn't do that well on that platform. So they're just like, why put it out on that platform?
That would be such a quick decision, like in such a short time, and they already had it in development, so they had to have like not done it already in the past, you know?
Yeah.
The decision was made fucking probably a year ago.
The thing that pisses me more off about Final Fantasy VII Remake, it looks kind of cool. The combat looks fucking weird. I don't know what the hell it's going to be, if it's going to be Kingdom Hearts, but the episodic fashion that they're releasing it is actually kind of frustrating, because they're like, oh, you can play the first game through Midgar. Like,
yeah, I think
what the fuck do you mean?
About it on the podcast before, where I was just like $60 for one part. I'm not gonna pay $60 to play the rest of the game again.
If it's more than 2 games, if it's more than 1 game, it should be bullshit. But if it, like, I can't believe we're gambling with this or bartering this. Like, it's a fucking remake of a game from 1997. I don't want to hear this whole, oh, the environments are difficult to remake in 3D-dimensional because it was all pre-rendered. It was a big game. You know what? There's a bunch of bigger games than 7. The world of FF7 isn't that big. The story isn't that long. You can make it. But if every boss fight is going to be like that Scorpion boss fight where it's like 20 minutes of running back and forth and attacking it, like, I guess, but that's just dumb.
I think it just depends on how they're approaching it, because like looking at Final Fantasy VII now, like, yeah, sure, it's not that big, but when it came out, it was fucking massive, because our expectations.
But it's a remake of
I understand that, but our expectations were very different back then than they are now, and approaching that from today, like, you have to factor in that dynamic. You know, you're taking this world and you're gonna have to blow it up, right? Like, the world in Final Fantasy VII originally was big, but it was confined because of technology. So like they're gonna have to take that and essentially blow it up.
Build it as people remember it, essentially.
Yeah, essentially. But like even
and
things like when you're traveling on the world map, you know, if they kept that the same,
mind-blowingly huge thing,
and you're just kind of running through an empty world in today's graphics with today's expectations, that's gonna be garbage. You know, you're going to have to blow that world up. You're going to have to make it look detailed. 15. You're going to have to do all these... Yeah, exactly. So, like, the expectations and the scale are just so much bigger that if they're being as true to it as they're saying they are, that is a pretty big thing to undertake. So, I mean, I get that, but it just still, like, I don't know that that's the right call. Like, it might be a better call to shrink it down just to make it more cohesive and make it one game and make it one experience. Like, it would suck to lose content, but like if this doesn't do well enough, we might not even see the end of it. That would fucking suck.
Here's where it's like it doesn't. I see your point now that you mention it, and here's where the kind of like in my head it's like, okay, let's remember Final Fantasy VII from '97 for a sec. Remember a town in that game would be like one screen with like four doors because you walk into each shop and then you leave and maybe one other area.
Yeah.
I would honestly, I'm trying to think in my head, would I rather have a new game that's each town, it takes me like 5 minutes to run through it, or would I rather have it be like one little area? And in my head it's like
100%.
I don't know, like I kind of would like a smaller area because then I'm not wasting my fucking time running around towns that are just there to be like, oh, you just go to this town to do the quest or you go to this town for shops because it's placed
That is true, but it would feel
I like
weird.
Small villages.
It would feel very strange if if you played a game that just came out today and you went into a town and it was one screen and you went into like whatever 4 or 5 stores and you were gone. Like today when I just played The Witcher 3, that'd be kind of fucked up. That'd be really underwhelming.
But I think it's a balance, like with everything, where having every town be like detailed and huge is kind of a waste of resources and a waste of your time because you're not gonna want to walk around for 5 to 10 minutes every time. You just want to kind of because remember the whole abstraction thing. You don't want every town to be like a real town. You want every town to have a purpose in the game world, and that can mean it can feel like a real town. But you don't need to walk 10 minutes to get to the city capital through a bunch of streets like you would in real life if you drove there. And I think that it's a balance that
that's definitely a balance because
that'd be like Midgard level would be doing 10 minutes of walking through streets to get to one building.
Yeah.
But smaller towns, I like if it's a good town size for me, to be honest. Like if we're rescaling like small towns from like old,
like Nibelheim for example is like, one screen essentially.
I like think of an old school like Western town where it's one street, essential buildings, some houses. That would be a good town size for me for like a small town.
Yeah, but a lot of the towns are in places like the Golden Saucer and in Midgard where you're expecting this massive fucking town.
Well, then make it massive if it's there. But I'm saying like out in the open world, the tiny towns. Like,
well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of that is going to be. It's going to need to be large. Like especially if they did the open world. Like the open world originally was completely empty. You're gonna have to populate that with shit and make it look real.
What do you mean by empty?
Like literally fucking empty.
Tiles.
Oh, there's nothing there.
Running on tiles.
Yeah.
But are you saying because there were like places to go? Like, everything was an icon.
But you're looking, you're looking at a grid base almost of textures, and then you've got fucking icons of towns. Like that was Final Fantasy VII on the world map. You can't do that again. You know because you're gonna be
because people would hate it and it wouldn't
people
sell.
Would bitch, and that would like if you're gonna do that again, take it out of the game because it's gonna break the immersion. It's gonna look like shit.
So I'm not trying to I'm not arguing this. I'm just like curious because for me it's like I don't have a problem with that per se, and I kind of like that concise put everything nice and neat because I don't need to when I think of a game I don't need to spend 5 minutes walking into a town past the signpost roads of the inner city, the outer city. Sometimes I just want to go into a city to do the thing I want to do and go to the place where there's something. I think Fallout 3 was the game that taught me that, in that it's fun to have everything be out there and open and life scale, right? Because that's what we're talking about. You mean like life scale where everything is to scale. It's not like you're an icon that represents.
I mean, yes and no. Like it just
resizing for expectations,
resizing, perspective, and just overall graphics. Because like you're going to have to do one of two things with the world map. You're either going to have to make it like a very basic, like, oh, let's move Cloud from point A to point B, or, walk 3 or 4 inches over to the town kind of a thing, and you can do that however artistically you want to do that, make it simple. Or it's going to maintain the perspective, that third-person perspective, and you're going to have to build a fucking open 3D world with mountains and grass and landscapes and towns and all these things in the environment. And that is, if they do that, which is probably what people expect and what I would want if they're doing the open world, because that's part of the immersion of being in that world and going out into the world map and exploring and fighting and going to the next town. Like, that was part of the experience originally in Final Fantasy VII, so everybody's going to want that. So that would be the expectation, and to do that would be very demanding, and it would take a lot of time and effort to build that entire world and populate it and detail it to expectations. But on the flip side, if they don't do that and they just do like, oh, here's a little map that you pull out and then you quickly travel from A to B in 2 seconds, that's also going to be disappointing, because Final Fantasy VII had an open, explorable world that people are going to want, and you're going to be taking that away from them.
Yeah, like,
but again,
don't you find like the weapons by literally running around
exactly,
in an area
exploring
where
the
they
world, right? So you want that to be deep and open in scale, so that it's meaningful when you are going out and exploring the world. If it's too simple, it ruins it. It breaks it. But again, like, how many games do we want this to be? Like, maybe it is better to scrap that and deal with the blowback of the fans to make it a more quicker, condensed experience where we're not getting 3, 4, 5 fucking releases of Final Fantasy VII. Like, you've got to find a balance, and things are going to have to be cut, otherwise it's just not going to work.
And they already went out and they're like, we're not cutting anything, we're doing everything.
Exactly. So, I don't know, it's bad. We need to move on. We've already talked about Final Fantasy VII, and we're already almost at 2 hours. Mortal Kombat movie will be rated R and have fatalities.
Yay, go watch it, everybody.
For the 5 people that care about the Mortal Kombat movie.
I do.
I do too. I want to see it.
Oh, so there's only one other person who cares about it besides those 4. For that one person, go watch it. We'll watch it with you.
Well, there's a shit ton of people that have been begging for this fucking movie for years.
I mean, it has potential to be a really cool movie. And since they are actually making it fucking R-rated, which, with a game that is M-rated and has fucking super gore and shit, how could you not make it R-rated?
How can it be better than
That's got to be like the starting point. It's like the basic...
It can't.
There's no way. It can't live up to
Get
that.
over here! Come over here!
But yeah, so hopefully that's not garbage. And last thing we got is the Cuphead animation. So this kind of bothers me. They've announced that there's a Cuphead animation being worked on that's going to be, I believe they said it's going to be hand-drawn. And
on Netflix.
On Netflix. And that's all well and good and everything, but considering they just fucking said that, hey, we're delaying content because of crunch, and then they announce a new project?
Well, no, that's not them making it. They're licensing it out. Netflix is making the animation.
Oh, then fuck it. I don't want to see it.
They're still participating. They're still involved in the writing and the creation. Like, they're a small team. This is still going to be pulling man hours out of that team to make this a thing. Which,
yeah, but it's not like they're animating it, and that's the majority of the work.
But still, when you have a handful of people, they're still writing and scripting and collaboration and like all these things. They have to be involved in the process, and that's going to.
But they don't have to 100%. Netflix can still write it and send it to them, and they can just read a draft and go, just change this, this, and this.
It depends on how it's being handled, but the implications of this without clarification are not good. It's like, hey, we just delayed our game because of crunch. We don't want to push our people too hard. But hey, here's a new project, everybody. Like, what?
I just don't see too much of a big drastic issue if they're not the ones doing the majority of the work.
Then I think they should have said that, been like, hey, this company reached out to us, wanted to do this project, and we're on board with it, but it's being handled outside of our company or whatever.
See, but I don't think anybody wants to
say that. That's how I know.
Does anybody want to see a Netflix
I'll have to
version
look it
of
up,
like,
but I don't think
Netflix has ruined so many fucking movies that this or franchises with their like shitty fucking movies that they make. I don't want to fucking watch them ruin Cuphead. Cuphead was an amazing game that brought back an amazing
that Netflix ruin.
They're fucking what was it called? The wow, now I can't remember. The Death Note was a colossal piece of shit.
Well, I thought you meant like sequel-wise, not remakes. Yeah, fuck those live-action films. All those fucking anime live-action films fucking suck.
Let me find a list of this because I've heard like 5 at least that I can think of that are garbage.
So
if they're not sequels, then it's not franchise ruining.
So just looking at the beginning of this article, so the show's being executive produced by Cuphead creators Chad and Jared Moldenhauer or whatever. So they're producing, so they're heavily involved in the creative process. You can't tell me that's not taking time away from developing their content.
Yeah, but Spielberg's name was slapped all over Poltergeist and he barely did any work.
That's fucking Steven really Spielberg, though. Of course he's not. They're just using his name. These guys created the property. They're indie. They're going to be involved.
Yeah, but he was the executive producer on fucking Poltergeist. And he wasn't there for filming.
It's fine. Anyway,
it's the same situation.
it paints you in a bad light when you fucking say, "Hey, we're delaying content because we don't want to push our people, but here's 20 more projects that we're also working on."
Pretty sure that's false. It's never been proven. Not you, Sean. He posted Resident Evil was going to Netflix. That's been posted for years.
Yeah, that was false. That was false.
Okay, because I just saw that picture.
Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
That picture makes me cringe. Look at Leon's fucking. Look at Clay. Oh my god.
They're so ugly.
It looks so garbage.
But go on.
So Nick, you had a thingy that you wanted to talk about?
I had a really quick thingy that. Oh yeah, Wizards of the Coast. If you're white, which is a lot of people.
Wow, excuse me.
And if you're a male,
you never start a conversation with "if you're white."
Wizards of the Coast made a tweet. I think one of their main people who was like working for them, or one of the main like people doing a lot of things in the company, made a tweet basically saying like, "Hey, there's if you're a white male, there's too many of you guys.
There's too many of you."
Yeah, here, let me find the tweet exactly. But basically, their implication was that if you're white and you're a guy, you shouldn't work for them.
Wow.
And it was a really, really bad tweet.
I'm sick of this fucking race bullshit.
But
like
where's the finish line?
Everything's so fucking counterproductive. Like everyone's like diversity, which is fucking fine. Good progression. It's nice. Keep it that way. But shitting on white people is fucking doing the opposite of progression. Keeping everybody equal, but saying white people aren't fucking good for anybody isn't keeping everybody equal. It's being racist.
Everyone sucks.
Everyone does suck. Everyone's equally shitty and sucky.
There you go.
I'm trying to find like an exact quote so I'm not
There's
lying
a fucking like I know this isn't gaming related, but while he's looking, there's a music festival that did that shit recently. It was $20 tickets, and if you're white, you have to pay $40 per ticket.
That is fucked up.
And like the promotion company dropped them and listed all their music festival on the website because they're like, yeah, that's racist. And they're like, no, it's not. And they had to force them like to change the rules to where $20 for everybody's tickets, but white people have an option to donate more if they want.
Only white people get the option to donate? Wow.
Yeah, only white people get the option.
That's fucked up. That's also racist.
Yeah.
Exact quote. It's from Lee Sharp, Boros Legionnaire. I think it's a guy, actually. Wow. And he's white. Wow. So he says, "Are you a judge or other magic rules expert? Do you enjoy thinking about computers implementing magic rules? My first World of Wizards of the Coast staff role. Join us on the MTG Arena team." And then he made a post saying, "The gaming industry has too many cis straight white dudes, and we could use more people who aren't of that description. So if you're inclined at all, please apply." And then someone says that is a very
discrimination.
Yep, pretty sure that's illegal.
And apparently this was after some cosplayer at Wizards of the Coast said she was harassed, and that men are garbage for harassing her, and she left because, yeah. And this is what kind of.
Well, didn't you know if you're a girl and you work anywhere in the world, you're harassed?
Yeah.
See?
Shut up, Jazz. Don't make me come over there and do bad things.
Whoa.
You know what? I work at an optometrist clinic, and every time I give them that fucking wooden spoon to cover one of their eyes, they're like, "Do I smack you with this?" And I'm like, "Only if you want to get punched in the face." Like, why would I give you something to hit me with? He's like, "Oh, we should call my wife in here." Okay.
Okay.
Some of them. That's not even the worst.
You gotta take the extra step now. You just gotta start throwing them out. Pick security.
Yeah, it's like it's time to put eye drops now. Reach for a bottle of like window washer. Just a little drop of bleach.
It's like, you're blind. That's what you get for harassing me, bitch. And then you get fired, and maybe they learn a lesson.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not.
So I could just.
They'd be like, women did this to me, and they'll grow their resentment more and harass more women.
Women get banned from the world.
Not again.
Not again. Damn Amazonians. We knew it was a bad idea sending them off to that island.
The Alien versus Predator story, where the Predators used the alien things to impregnate people, was probably the best solution.
Hey, that's rape.
Oh.
That's fucked
No,
up.
it's called surprise sex mechanics. What?
Ah!
Jesus.
Hey. Guess what time it is?
Fucking
for some news.
We're not doing games today because we fucking suck at life. Jazz.
Yeah.
Hi.
What
are you doing? What are you working on?
I didn't work on much this week, but this week I'm devoting myself to finishing some scripts and either getting shit from somebody or replacing them right away.
Beautiful.
For my last lines of episode 3, because we're narrowing down to 3 more characters, like main characters, and 2 of us are online all the time.
I wonder who that is.
Well, one of them is me, and the other one is you.
I know.
It's just your imagination. And my super secret project has been on hold. I'm gonna keep working on it. I'm gonna record some lines for Alec and whoever else. Me, I guess.
Wow.
Well, and you if you need some.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, there you go.
Great.
I'll record Leon lines. Fine.
Yeah, it's about time. Fuck.
And yeah, I'm also working at the same time on a whole bunch of little mini series that are just like 1 episode stuff, just to get stuff going. I have a couple ideas that I can do without my computer, so I'm not home for the weekend, and I might do that. Woo.
Awesome.
Wow, that's dedication.
Next.
Wow, Cody, what's going on?
My last episode of Bloodstain was today, so now I'll be uploading my time at Portia. Some Crash Team Racing. I know I got 1 episode, but I haven't had too much time to film anything else because my brother's practically been here for a week. He's leaving on Sunday.
Wow, what an asshole.
Because he has nowhere to live.
Wow.
Did you kill him?
Did you burn down his house?
No.
Did somebody else burn down his house?
It's family reasons I can't talk about, but
well,
yeah,
burning down houses is family.
Exactly. Well, maybe.
No one's house was burned.
Beautiful.
Yet.
Give it time.
Mark that one off.
But yeah, so I haven't had much time to do jack and or shit, so I'm just kind of like rendering out what I have now and uploading. So yeah, my last episode of Bloodstain was today, so now you can go binge that if you want. And after you finish the game, and unless you don't care, then you can go watch it if you don't care for spoilers. But it's 25 parts.
That's not bad.
Yeah, 20 minutes each, 25 around that per episode, and the last one is like 30 something minutes.
That's how long those Until Dawn games are going to be, 25 minutes.
We're at like fucking 20 episodes with Resident Evil 6
podcast.
and we're only like halfway through Leon's campaign.
That fucking game is so
Oh my
fucking
god,
long.
we're at 2nd chapter.
It's your fault. No, I'm just kidding. We're both
what?
being very stupid, but it's
you
great.
put yourself in that situation.
I
Bloodstain was like 19 hours first run through, and I cut a good bit of fucking exploration out, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's actually pretty long for like a indie like side scroller kind of game.
Yeah, 2.5D Castlevania-esque game.
Metroidvania, thank you very much.
Yeah, Metroidvania.
I want my Metroid ball. I want to be a power ball and roll around.
Yeah, so I'm just uploading those, and I still got a bunch of videos to upload. Far Cry that I filmed like a year ago, and
You never posted.
never posted. I realized that I have a lot of games that I have episodes for and never fucking posted.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I think I
holy
do
shit!
too.
I've just been sitting on these episodes of content, and
Like
so I'm
you
like,
just get
okay,
a random fucking episode 3 or 4 of something that was posted like a fucking year ago.
yeah, I've done that. Crackdown 1, I had posted like 7 parts, and then the last like 4 or 5 parts I didn't post till nearly a year later, because I was like, I didn't think anyone cared because they didn't get any views, and then this one guy came out of nowhere. I was like, Crackdown's my favorite game, and I demand you finish this series. It's so good. And I was like, well, for that one guy, I filmed like 4 more episodes and finished the game.
Aw, you're so sweet.
He's a frequent commenter. I don't get any comments on my videos because no one watches them, but he comments.
Well,
He's like,
even when you get the views, you still don't get comments. Fucking.
Yeah, even when I get views, I don't get comments, and I'm just like,
like, subscribe, comment. I can't fucking words.
Well, maybe you should buy your comments and views like everybody else.
know,
on
the
YouTube.
dude
Buy the
that I
loot
was
box.
just talking
maybe
about-
it's a comment, maybe it's a like, maybe it's a subscribe. Who knows?
I shit you not, the dude that I literally was just talking about that comments and everything just suggested that. He's like, why don't you just buy subs? It's like efficient and it makes you look good. I commented to him, I said, never in my goddamn life.
The next day, your credit card gets charged. You're like, you know what? My morals or my dignity or YouTube subs.
I got blamed for sub-botting already from someone in this community, and that's what made me fucking restart my channel to prove them wrong.
Wow.
Wait, what happened?
Now, I'm not going into it right now.
Did you? Because that sounds like a very personal story.
No, just
What
someone
else?
said that I was taking sub-botting, so
We asked
I,
a real question.
restarted my channel that had over 1,000 subs. Just to be like, fuck you. I'll get it all back. Watch me.
So if I tell you, hey man, you're a pussy, you only bought your subs, you'll restart it right now.
Oh, no.
That was a
Not till I
one-time
have
deal.
over 1,000 subs and can monetize my videos. No.
And then I'll start over.
Yeah. Then I'll say, fuck the money, and I'll do it again. No.
Fuck the police.
But yeah, I think that's it. I'm debating, because I know it's a 70+ hour game, debating on doing a Assassin's Creed Odyssey playthrough and just making those like fucking 30-minute episodes.
And
Yeah.
just like
But-
run through it, or
Yeah, just like run around, make as much fucking content as I can, play side missions, user-generated content, stuff like that.
What the hell does that mean, user generated?
Oh, last month they put out a patch for Assassin's Creed Odyssey that you can now go onto the website and they give you a dev kit and it works on everything. You could just upload user-created missions and it actually gives you XP in-game and everything and like money and stuff when you beat them. And you make your own missions and dialogue and characters, and you could just make missions and people can fucking play them. Like they just go to that spot where you put it and a portal appears and they just play your story.
yeah, people have been making like user-created missions that exploit the system to get like massive amounts of experience that they're
Are
dealing
getting
with.
banned as of yesterday.
Yep. So don't do that. That's fucking stupid. What else you got?
I think that's about it so far. Just a bunch of content I gotta upload and maybe future content whenever my brother's not staying here.
Whenever he chooses to get the fuck out.
No, I told him he's gotta be gone by Sunday.
Ooh,
Earlier. And he's like, I'm cool with that.
beautiful.
So yeah. So starting Sunday-ish, I should be able to start just filming again because I'm running out of like stuff.
I must upload.
The
No,
backlog is
I have
being
no mouth.
exhausted.
I have
Yeah,
no
the
content
backlog
and I
is-
must upload.
I got
Nick.
more content to upload.
Do you now?
Nick,
What?
what the
I don't
fuck?
have any content.
Okay, great.
He's I don't got anything. I've been working.
Wow.
No,
mean,
Oh, you're asking me. Hi everybody.
what's going
Hi,
on? What do you have coming up? Hello. Hello's not a question.
Suck my dick.
Hello?
No.
Gladly.
Wow.
No. So here's what's happening, people. I'm done with my job. Because I chose to leave. Not for any other possible reason. So here's the deal. I know, I'm gonna do this and I don't do this. I'm gonna start a streaming schedule. And I'm gonna try and stream every fucking day. Because there's not enough people who want to stream every day. Now, here's my plan for making this work. One, I'm gonna stream games I actually like, not your bullshit clickbait nonsense like let's play Apex Legends, let's play Fortnite, because I'd rather cut my fucking throat open with a tire iron.
Games you like? What?
I'm gonna start with Silent Hill 4: The Room, because I like that game. You know, none of you guys like it because you guys don't appreciate the wonders of escort missions and ghosts and the understanding.
I appreciate the lunacy.
You've never
of the room.
played it.
I've never, but I've watched so much on it. I appreciate that game.
Count.
It counts.
I'm just kidding. No. Anyway, my point is, I'm gonna be playing a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to play for a while, and I'm gonna be streaming it because I'm like, you know what? I want to make people watch me play games, but I can't do that with straitjackets, so I'll just do it on Twitch because it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm gonna be doing Silent Hill games, Resident Evil games, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm also gonna be continuing this wonderful Let's Play of Final Fantasy VIII with Shaun, that Shaun has wholeheartedly agreed to doing the whole thing with me, which, why would you do that, man? Like,
because I hate my life?
you got a house and life and chores and kids, and like you chose to...
Kids. And a wife.
The boat.
We are your kids, Shaun. You spawned us like this. You made us like
this.
The
ward is his child.
That's true. It's my baby.
The child that hurts him every day with insults and memes.
My child is a dick.
It's a pleasurable pain.
Aren't all kids, though?
Well, with a dad like Leon, would you grow up to be a wholesome, nice child?
No.
Shut up!
You'd either grow up to be a complete asshole or the nicest person.
Well, we already have a nicest person. I think
you wouldn't grow up to be compassionate, though.
Oh no, the compassion.
Because you're not a queer.
I said nothing.
Because you're not a queer with bullets who helps people out during a zombie apocalypse.
Can't we just heal the zombies, please?
Yeah.
What else you got going on?
I'm trying to find a cause for cancer as opposed to a cure. No, that's pretty much it. Well, no. I got other stuff. Music-wise, so Cody and I are going to do a Kiss reunion tour because Paul Stanley reached out to us to help them record their new album.
You and Cody are going to
20 grand when it starts, 20 grand when it's over.
Twitch.
Yeah, on Twitch, live. Coming to you.
Streaming it every day.
Every day. But we're just going to kiss once a day, every day on Twitch. Come watch.
Jesus Christ.
I quit my job because I just want to rock and roll all night and party.
Just pay me to kiss people, please.
While I play Kiss songs. I was made for streaming all day. So yeah, we're gonna be making music with Cody, which I've started. I've been writing songs while I was working, but I haven't been able to put them together and record them.
Nobody has sent me anything. I sent Sam Mixcraft. I sent you it. Neither of you have got anything.
Sam is busy. Sam is having a job that's a real job. I had a job that was half. It was like
I've been sitting here being told it's like it's the Shaun effect right now. You go, I'll get it to you this day.
Wow!
I bought music equipment. You don't get to. I bought a guitar and a pickup, and I'm buying an amp. You don't get to fucking talk shit. He hasn't even bought.
Sitting in the corner, getting roped in.
Shaun hasn't even bought a microphone. Shaun has to use his desktop.
I use my dick.
Yes, this is webcam mic now. But no, seriously, it's you tell me every few weeks, every 3 weeks you go, I'll get it to you on Wednesday. And then 3 weeks later, I'll get it to you on Wednesday. And I'm just
my brain is a fucking nightmare right now. If you saw what was going on in there, I make myself promises.
Nick, not you.
Oh, okay. I fucking I commit to things in my head, and I'm I'm gonna make this happen, and then I have to work more than I planned for, or I fucking sleep more than I allowed myself to because I fucking need it, or I'm gonna die. So I don't get to the things sometimes, and I'm just.
Oh no, Shaun and I had this thing where we're gonna record Final Fantasy VIII every week, and the next day was well, no, I reached out to Shaun hey, you want to record today? Shaun's yeah, let's do it in an hour. The next day. Hey man, sorry, I had work. Do you want to record tomorrow? I'm yeah, we can record tomorrow. The next day, oh sorry, I had a family function because I have life and stuff. I'm like, that's okay. I had a job anyway. It's like we both understand. It's like, yeah, this isn't happening until both of us have a more stable solution to.
And then we finally fucking start recording, and he has to leave like 5 minutes in because something.
Meanwhile,
It's
I'm
like, wow.
sitting here waiting, and I know like how that feels because like I say I'm gonna do shit for people, and I'll give it to them like immediately.
I'm
I don't
just not
give
going
shit
to promise
immediately,
anything.
but at the same time, I don't say I'll get it to you by Wednesday or you know.
Well, because like the idea is like commit. You know, it's like I put this out there.
I had a song ready
it.
for you, but the thing is, I literally practiced it. I'm like, good, we're gonna record. And that evening, my dad comes home and is like, son, I'm disappointed. I'm like, what? Well, you know how like you make decisions in your life, yeah? Like, well, I made a bad decision. Like, what? By having you. Why? The lawn hasn't been mowed yet.
Yeah, that's a fucked up way to work your way into the grass wasn't cut.
I love it.
Shit.
It's so overdrawn and fucked up. It's just right.
You know why the world is going to shit, son?
Because I need
people
you
like
to get
you
the
don't
mail.
cut my goddamn grass.
God is sending his wrath down upon us because my fucking lawn isn't mowed.
If everybody's sons would cut the lawn, global warming wouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah,
We
instead
wouldn't
it
have
would be air
wars like in
pollution.
Iraq if you fuckers would just do your job.
So yeah, no, we need to all have a band meeting is what the subtle thing is from this. But no,
That's what I keep getting told, and then I stay up that night and I don't message anybody because I don't expect messages back, and then nobody calls me either.
Wow.
that's like the girlfriend
Here's the thing:
syndrome where it's
if
like
someone
you didn't
goes,
call
"I'm
me, why
going
do
to
you wanna
call
bother?"
you," I actually stay up. In like 7 out of 10 times, nobody fucking calls me, and I stay up and lose sleep, and nobody tells me sorry the next
But you
day.
never tell us you lose sleep because you do this like a week later. You're like, I didn't sleep for days waiting for that call. I'm like, oh, I just fell asleep.
Well, it's because
I was
I'm not gonna
tired.
guilt people, but like when you.
But then you guilt them even worse a week later.
But I don't say it's because that reason, because half the time it's not that reason. I'll go, okay, I'll wait like 4 hours after the expected time and go, okay, they're not calling, and then I'll play a video game the rest of the night.
I think the bottom line is we all could be better at communication.
We need to get our shit together. That's the moral
I
of the
message
story.
people. I don't get messages back half the time.
Okay,
I
well,
get
Cody's
phone things.
perfect. Every one of us is shit except Cody. So
Yeah, because I'm sitting here waiting, and I'm just like looking at my non-existent watch, tapping it, and I'm like, huh, they said they were going to do this, and I said, okay, and I'm here, but no one else is here. And that's all the time.
Cody, are you that guy who goes to a concert and when the band doesn't
I'm the
open?
first one there.
Yeah.
I
And
shit
the
you not,
last
every
one.
show I have, I show up hours before anybody else. And I set up with everybody else. Like, I help the other band set up their shit. I'm that guy.
Good, because I do that with music. So
Nick.
Yes.
Do you have anything else going on? We need to wrap this the fuck up.
I'm building a computer.
2.5 hours. What did we even
building-
talk about?
Got out that whole
Nothing.
conversation.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. What are we doing?
But Shaun and everyone here at the Ward, we're going to proudly present to you a Let's Play of. We're going to
Marcus
proudly
Phoenix
present
smoking cigarettes.
Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 4-player co-op Let's Play Gaming Ultimate Experience Deluxe, coming to your friendly YouTube channel, family friendly, The Ward weskershouse at youtube.com.
Are these hashtags?
starting
What
next
is
week.
happening?
I'm reading the
Directed by Wes
script.
Craven.
Directed by Shaun Clark and published by Wes Craven, 1997. So yeah, we're going to be doing a Let's Play of Outbreak once we all figured out how to get it to work, which I slowly have. So
I don't think that's going to work, but I hope. I don't believe in
well,
you.
it
but I
works.
hope.
It works. Wow. It works online on paper, so we all know that everything that works on paper. Other than that, yeah. So go to my Twitch and watch stuff. Go to Cody's Twitch. Go to Shaun's. Go to everybody's Twitch and Jazz's Twitch and her. Whatever else she has. I don't know what people have in Canada. If you guys have a different Justin TV or whatever. But yeah, that's my
Man,
week.
sorry,
Shaun,
.tv.
how was your week? I mean, what are your
God
updates?
damn it. My week was good until today. You know what? Nothing. I'm not committing to anything.
That's actually pretty accurate.
Wow,
Go,
fuck you.
We got the podcast, and that's where you end it. Say, I got the podcast. I'm uploading that, and that's where you end it.
Wow. Fuck you.
No, Sean's not that kind of dad.
See,
he makes some content for everybody.
That's the type of daddy to say, coming soon.
It's yeah. I mean, and I've kind of been doing that. Like,
podcast.
I've been trying to avoid dates and time frames, but yes, I'm working on stuff. I will tell you about what I'm working on, but I'm not gonna no more dates, no more time frames, no more windows.
You know what? Same
shit is coming.
Next year, next decade, who fucking knows? It's surprise mechanics.
But there might be a time very soon where I will be able to give time frames and dates because I'm working on a different way to make content that will be like reliable as to when I can distribute it. So that is a thing that might happen. It might be in the future. We'll see. Whatever.
We'd have bonus things. You just gotta send me lines.
You motherfucker. I'm gonna tomorrow at 3 p.m.
At 3:01, Cody's like, "Where's my lines, motherfucker?"
No, seriously, I
am
will.
sticking to that. I'm gonna wait till 3
No,
p.m.
no, it was a joke. Listen. Continue to bug me until like I fucking do it, because I need to be pushed, because I need to tell myself I don't need sleep. It's fine.
Need to be abused by my friends to hold up to my word.
Being at work for 10 hours is all the sleep I need. I mean, it's fine.
That's why I feel bad when like people come to me and they're like, okay, we gotta get these lines, and I go, yeah, but like I'm just as bad to a degree, but at the same time no one goes, I need those lines now. If someone's like, absolutely, here's the deadline, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be more motivated to do it. Somebody give me a fucking deadline. Jazz, give me a deadline on those lines.
Well, that's kind of...
And I would get them to you.
That's what I try to do. It's just, like, it's hard. It's just not realistic. It's like, I have that same way of thinking. If I give myself a date, a deadline, like, I have to do it, right? I've committed to it, so there's more weight.
She might have lost internet. She went right offline.
Yeah, she'll be back. But, yeah, like...
Don't give her a date on that, because...
Like, that's the idea. You know, it's like... Idealistically, if you give a date, you're committed. But like when you have fucking all this time, you've got to be at work and you've got to fucking cook and survive and sleep, and like all these things factor into the limited amount of time that you have. So it's like sometimes it's just not realistic and it just doesn't happen, and you can't make that time frame, which really fucking sucks. And then it makes you look like an asshole because it's like, oh well, he said he's going to do that and he didn't. What a fucking lying piece of shit. But it's like I'm trying to give you guys like a date and to give myself a date so that I can get to it and make it happen.
I deadline myself all the time. Man. Like music progress on albums and whatnot, I give myself a deadline. I've had points to where like an album would release like, and this is like early on, so like I don't do it anymore. I make sure I have it done like at least 2 months in advance, where I've had an album that would come out the following day and like I'd have one song left with one verse and I'd not think of a good verse until the night of release, and then I'd fucking do it, mix it, master it, blah blah blah, and upload it like 2 hours before the album would have to come out.
I think the South Park 6-day deadline thing that they do is the best way to do it.
Well, regardless, I'm working on it.
I'm trying to 6 days.
Trying to fix things so that things get done quicker and more efficiently.
Delegate.
But yeah, to who?
To God.
Record my Leon lines and write this script, and
I said I was gonna do that.
Make my voice actors fucking do their lines because they don't want to do it.
Just get whips and whip your voice
and whip across the country. I don't know. I'm trying. But yeah, I've been recording lines for a couple different things. I've been working on getting those Ashley and Ada lines that I was just referring to for completing episode 13.
I got you that second draft on one of those.
Yes, we need to talk about that after the show. But I'm still waiting to hear on the Ada lines. I need to send her another email and see what the fuck is going on there. And then obviously the Ashley situation I'm working on resolving. And I mean, it's going to be Cody.
Done faster than normal people, but
Cody's gonna be the new Ashley. Confirmed.
Yeah. Just want you to get used to my rugged voice now.
No, just squeeze your testicles.
It's coming out of a woman's body.
Just get your wife to do it.
I made I made some more progress on the Let's Play editing stuff. So much fucking footage to edit on that. A little bit of progress there. But yeah, just the bulk of my time's just been spent, like I've been talking about the last couple podcasts, is working on that structuring and just working on more efficient ways to get shit done where I can commit to those time frames and stuff and just have more consistency. But yeah, it's happening. You know, one day there'll be a video that's not a podcast on the YouTube, and it'll be great. It'll be glorious. We'll all have
celebrate,
really
drink
soon.
mead, and be merry.
We'll all have party there.
We'll
Whatever
all
that
have party.
means. We'll all have a party. Get excited. But yeah, that's what I got going on. But yeah, two and a fucking half hours in. Good job, everybody. I thought for sure this was gonna be a short one. Wow.
Oh, I knew it wouldn't be.
And that's like how it happens.
Yeah, here's
like,
the thing.
If
You can't have me and Nick on the same podcast.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
definitely it.
We disagree to a certain level to where we try to one-up each other to the point where he's pulling facts out of his ass.
I'm separating you two. Go to your fucking rooms.
It's gonna be great when we have to write music because there's no facts in music. It's just here. Okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's just being creative, and there's like, you can't be wrong in being creative.
It's like, hey Cody, this Xbox game
It's a matter of opinion.
Well, actually, because I read online that it's good. Well, I read it that it's bad.
Oh, you think that sounds
Well, no,
good?
here's the
You're
thing.
wrong.
I don't just read online. I fact check everything.
Yeah, well, I feel it through my factual sensors on my body.
Thank you for joining us, everybody, for episode 42. Don't forget to smash your friends. Smash our things. Get smashed. Do the smashies.
While that podcast best viewed when under the influence of drugs and/or alcohol.
There you go. Have yourself a merry little weekend because Christmas is only 5 months away.
And remember, Marcus Phoenix says, no smoking.
No fucking smoking. But murder, go for it.
Murder is okay.
See you next week, everybody.
Gears 5.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.